12 till 1 on Thursday and Friday, yeah?
Correct. Yep.
Right, I got that. Yeah, that's it, right? Yeah, I got that.
Then we do Saturdays, and I'll get that information to you. Once a month, Saturdays.
Okay, once a month, okay. Okay, and is that the work day or something then? That's when you're meant to do some work,
Yeah.
is it?
Yep.
Super Saturday.
Yeah, okay.
And then Eric's special, he's elite, so he gets extra stuff. So, but you don't have to worry about that, Paul. You're just a basic person.
Well,
I'm
I
just
was,
kidding. I'm totally
because
kidding.
I was just, I just saw the box. I was just reading the box about if you tick this button, you can be an elite person. I was just reading it, and you started the meeting, and your face flashed up. So I didn't have time to press the button, and then I.
Oh, well, go back and press the button and come back.
Well,
It's all right.
so then I thought, I know what I'll do. I'll get in the swing of this for this week or something, and then when then I'll take on the other stuff. Yeah.
All right. I'm just playing with you. I'm just joking around.
Yeah, I know, but it's true. Your face did flash up because you had the meeting waiting to start, and then it whoosh up you come, and
I totally
put me off
believe
the
you.
stroke. Huh?
I totally believe you. I was just joking around. You're just a basic member.
So Lanny,
I love that we can talk like that. That's so fun. All right, go ahead, Sam.
I emailed you a new rep brochure we just did.
Okay, let me look at it.
So I went to at your.
All right, the personal email address. Yeah. Oh, there it is. I got it. Hang on a second.
You want to rip it apart, critique it?
Hang on a second.
And Paul, all sessions are recorded.
Yep.
And Lenny, you share them on the website on our
the membership site. Yep. And then Paul, yeah, thanks for reminding me.
What is the membership site?
Hold on, I'll grab it for you guys real quick. Hang on.
Is that the Slack thing? The membership site? Is that the Slack
No,
thing?
Slack's just our communication channel. Oh, I need to get some more recordings up, huh? Wait, where are they? I don't see them. Hang on a second. I'm confused. I am confused. I don't see them. That's weird. I put them up here. I think I'm in the right place.
That helps.
Anyway, I'll give you a link to it anyway, but it has the 90-day challenge that I did like a while back. It was like 7, 8 years ago. And then there's some real estate training on there that I just left on there because I cloned it from one of my real estate training sites. And I thought, I'll leave the training on there. Why not? It's not going to hurt anybody to know more about real estate. And then, oh, here it is. It is in there. Okay, it's all in one. Okay, it is in there.
It is what?
The recordings are all in there. So,
okay, so how do we access it? I see you put it in chat. So where do we go? How do we after this?
If you click on that link that's in the chat, it prompts you to create an account, and then you create a username and password, and then you can just log in anytime from any device.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yep.
I like the picture.
Yeah, I'm not sure what picture that is, but
Vault.
What is it?
The
vault. Yeah, I like
vault.
that too. Yeah. It's like you're entering the vault and it's all valuable in there, was kind of the motif or the energy that was supposed to communicate. All right.
You don't have the stock image for that, do you?
Yeah, I can. Shit, where is it?
Don't worry, not now, but
I'll have to find
sometime.
All right, so let me look at Sam's brochure. All right, so hang on a second. Let's go screen share.
I'm going to try to create an account pretty quickly.
All right, so Sam, I got your brochure up.
Yeah, that's it. I've got to do a password though. Hold on.
Did your son do this?
Yes.
I can tell because it's on GitHub.
Right.
So a couple things.
Okay.
Okay, so let me ask you, Sam, what do you think is wrong with it?
I'll tell you what, let me just pop a password in here.
Yeah, go ahead. Don't worry about it.
I mean, let me just get this in.
And when I
so-
say wrong, I shouldn't say right and wrong. As a matter of fact, I hate when I
No,
say
no,
that. What do you think could be more effective? Let me ask you that.
I'm gonna do it. I'll be there in 1 sec.
I'm just testing how much you've been listening. That's all.
Right.
And if you haven't been listening, it's okay. I'm just curious if you could. It'd
I
be
mean-
cool that if you know, I'm just curious what you come up with.
I'm gonna, okay, 6,
Mhm.
okay. Okay, I gotta go. I gotta get, I'll have to come back to, okay, here we go. Landing page, let's do it.
Yeah. So tell me what you see when you first get on there.
Well, I don't see any benefit. I mean,
Right.
what you would say to me, you would say, so what? 9,000 square feet of office space for lease.
And the address, like, who cares what the street address? The street number, 115-195 Delafield Street, means nothing. You know, it would be better to put the area of Poughkeepsie it's in. If it's in a little sub area of Poughkeepsie,
Right.
that would be okay. But the street address doesn't mean anything. 9,000 square feet of office space for lease. You know,
And-
the other thing too
and
is it's hard to read. This type is actually, I don't know if it's off-white, it's harder to read because of the background. It's against this brick, which has white in it, and this building has white in it. So all of this is really hard to read. The picture looks good. I mean, it looks like a nice building from the outside. So anyway, that's just the above the fold feedback. And then the space available, I'm just curious what happens when I click on that link.
and
Oh,
Nothing.
Lenny, it's a picture of the building, the outside of the building, which is not always the picture you want to put. Maybe
Correct. Is there a better picture of the space? Absolutely. And we've talked about that before, Eric, with his
Yeah,
spaces.
that's
Like,
why I know it.
remember
That's why I
he had
know that.
one where he's like, this
For the
building.
recording.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the building looked crappy from the outside, and then you go in and it's like, well, then what room should we feature? Well, the manager's room
And
or
it
the
was,
owner's
and it was
room.
famous. It was
Yeah.
famous, wasn't it? It was a film studio or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it had a lot of space for machines and everything. So
Oh
you
my
could-
gosh, look at this. These are all the pictures. There's no pictures of the inside of the building. This is all, and then we go to outside and it's the same 3 pictures.
the title under the pictures, extra information that is added.
Outside of building, outside of building, outside of building. Dude, this is so funny. You can totally tell a programmer did this and not a marketer. And then, these are the details, which is fine. Property facts, rental rate. This is where I just think you do this on Fiverr, and you have to have more, like these 3 pictures. Do you have more pictures of the building than that? Or are
Oh,
those
we
the only
can
3?
get more. We certainly can get more. We didn't have, the space that's being vacated is medical type space,
I gotcha.
and we couldn't get in to take inside pictures, but I think it's very legitimate criticism, not that.
Yeah, no, it's feedback. It's not criticism. We're not criticizing what
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
doing.
No,
Yeah.
I boasted that I said I'm sending this to a world expert.
Yeah.
I told the
Then
owner-
so let's look at this. Request more info, right?
Yep.
Now here, I'll just tell you how I would do it. Okay, and I'm not saying it's the way to do it, but when I go request more info, you're going here to this page, right? Now you're going to a contact us page. And then you got to go name, email, phone number required, subject your message. I like breaking things into multiple steps, but that's just me. I'm kind of picky. So what you could do is have a pop-up here when request more info, and it could say step 1, what's your first name? and email address, you know, and then go to the next page or go to a next step. Hey, what's your phone number? And then step 3 could be the, you don't even need the whole, so you go here, right? Subject in your message. So you don't even need that. You just need their contact info, right? And then on the submission, I would submit to a, let's just put this in and hit send and see what happens. And it just says, thank you for your message that has been sent. And it stays on this page. Now, what you could do is once they opt in, then go to your automated scheduling software, your Schedule Once, which has your calendar. Go ahead and schedule an appointment with me and get on my calendar. So
what program do you use to do that?
I use Schedule Once. There's a bunch of them. So I'm not saying, or it's called Once Hub now, I think. Let's see. I'll give you a link. I'm not sure if it's the best one or anything like that, but I've used it. It's pretty easy. It integrates with your calendar system, whatever calendar system you have. So here, and it's like, I think it's 10 or 15 bucks a month. Maybe 15. Hang on. Okay, here it is. I'll put in the chat. Hi, Tanya. Good to see you.
Hi.
All right. Here is the Once Hub. So we did let me, do you want me to show you a really cool appointment funnel that we just finished? It's like one of the coolest things I've ever seen. At least I think it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen as far as an appointment. But I think it would be good just so you could see the flow, right? It's not selling your stuff, but you can see the steps, right? Let me see if I can find the link. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on 1 second. Okay. All right. Okay, so here's the sequence. This is a lead gen funnel, and the guy is a former nuclear commander on a nuclear submarine. He was in charge of the nuclear weapons on a U.S. nuclear submarine, one of the most modern nuclear submarines. The guy's a stud. Like, he's amazing. Like, he's just like one of those guys when you know how sometimes when they've been Navy SEALs and they've done crazy stuff, they have this presence, you know? So this guy has that presence where you're just like, you know, I just know that I would never mess with this guy in a million years. He's like 6'5" and he's older, but he's still built like a brick house, right? So we built this quiz or assessment. It's not a quiz with, you know, marketing terms, it's a quiz, but we call it a leadership assessment. And the premise of the assessment is, do you have the leadership skills to command a US nuclear submarine? And then it's got the tactical like green sonar. And as you're going through the quiz, it's got the like red countdown timer to create stress and urgency. And the questions are really, really good. They're all real scenarios that could happen in a nuclear submarine with answers that are just really, really challenging. So we made it super hard on purpose. And then at the end of it, you get a rank. You can get a rank of cook, Swabi, cadet, captain, and admiral. So there's 5 different ranks. And once they get their thing, then we tease this secret weapon. You know, if you'd like to get my secret weapon that I've been using to turn around companies, he's done like 40 or 50 different turnarounds. He's known as the turnaround CEO. So he comes in, he becomes the CEO of a company, he turns it around, then he leaves, right? That's his thing. That has been his thing. So you get his secret weapon, which is this 1-page plan. Eric, that's the guy I want to connect you to on the platform, right? Same guy. So there's a bribe into the appointment. You only get the bribe if you show up. So the sequence is traffic to a page, right? So let's translate that for you, Sam, right? Traffic to a page, your tactical nuclear sub quiz is actually that page, right? Then they hit, yes, I want more info. Then on the next page, you could have a video. So after you collect the video, after you collect their information, it should go to a video of you saying, hey, I'm Sam, I want to tell you about this property. And you could do like a 5-minute spiel on the thing and why it's so great. And then your call to action would be, on this page, I just put a button where you can schedule to talk to me. I'd love to get to meet you. And if this property is not right for you, good news, I'm the guy. I can find you property anywhere. You know? So there's 2 parts to it. One part is design, but the other part is functionality and flow, right? So do you like that functionality and flow? Could you see how that would be beneficial?
Yeah. You're creating, you're proposing to create multiple depths from a shallow informational document, which instead of being on hard paper, it's online, but instead of, you're creating depth.
Yep. Because you're putting it on online anyway, right?
Yeah.
So if you're going to put it online anyway, why not do it right?
Right. Right now, use the advantages of the technology.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is, so kind of going up to a bigger, and Sam, I'm totally not beating you up. I'm just trying to help you, right? So
No, you're not beating me up.
I'm not telling you doing anything wrong. I'm just seeing things that you don't see, right? The other thing that I see is that you kind of have, which is great, the old school, like grind it out, work hard, which is great. But what if you could record a video one time and it keeps doing work for you? It creates leverage in your time, right?
Okay, yeah. So obviously, I think Tanya, you've done a bit. How do you do these videos?
Super easy. What kind of computer do you have? I mean, you have a camera. I see it because I see you.
Right.
What kind of computer is that you're on?
This is a Dell.
Okay, and it has a camera.
Right.
So
I'm using the webcam actually.
right. So you can use your webcam. You can get a real simple video editing software. You just hit, oh, you know what? Here's one that's easy. Loom, Loom. And then with Loom, you can also do screen share. So Loom is free and you can do up to 5 minutes for free. So when I go to Loom, let me see if I can screen share. Let me see if I can do a double screen share. I'm going to screen share my screen share. So hang on. I'm going, hang on a second. So let me show you what Loom looks like, okay? So I'm going to screen share my desktop, I'm going to screen share this monitor. Let me know when you can see it.
We see.
Yeah, you see it. Okay. By the way, here's the one sub. So see this little icon up here? That's Loom. Oh, this version of Loom is no longer supported. Well, of course it is. It's no longer supported when I'm showing you guys. And anyway, it's downloading a new version. But what happens is it just says, start recording. Now it's actually already started the interface. Over here on the left, you can see this. It shows me right here. See me in the corner down here? There I am. So you can turn that on or off. So while you're doing your screen share, you can have the picture or not. And then you can literally just share your screen. So you could even do one of the property and go through a gallery of pictures and explain and just notice the bathrooms right here. Whoops. Oh, I can't use the tool. Hang on a second. Let me see if I can just download it really quick. Currently installed. Oh, there's a desktop app. Okay, I'll install that really quick. Probably be faster just to install the app. Hang on. But you could have the property up here on your screen, talk through it, just set it up on a photo gallery and just start bringing the pictures up and saying like, oh, this is where, you know, hang on, let me just do that really quick. Replace. Okay, it's not doing that. Why not? I got a new computer, so sometimes things don't work. All right. Anyway, so that's a free way to do it, and it's easy. So I would start there.
So you would start off talking about an appointment funnel?
Well, it's you're sending people to that page. They hit learn more, what they want to learn more, get their contact information, then send them to a video that talks about the property. And on the page that you talk about the property, your call to action should be, hey, let's set up an appointment and get to know each other. You know, if this property isn't right for you, I'm sure I can find something that is. You know, you could say I have this space that used to house a Broadway studio designer and it's available, you know, or, you know, whatever. I'm just suggesting that there's more to it than just that page. That's all.
Yes.
As a possibility.
But Lanny, are you saying that you would lead with Sam? Here I am. I can help you as a get to know me first, and then Sam shows them the property, or are you saying you lead with the property and then you try and turn it into some personal meeting if they don't like that property or something? What?
Okay, so let me take another swipe at this page. Okay, I'm going to pretend that Sam came to me and said, and Sam has a gun, right? He's got a loaded revolver, and he comes up to me, he holds it to my head, and he says, if I don't lease this space in 24 hours, you're going to die. What are your 5 best ideas? I would have the picture of this, the best picture of the space. I would have a video walkthrough that's personalized, you know, hey, let me bring you through this property, and you have a video walkthrough. You could, you know, if you have a gimbal and somebody can follow you, and you can do a video tour of that, and then a call to action that says, let's talk. You know, that would be above the fold, like a hero image, a video, call to action. Then below the fold, I would have, I like this, lease term, minimum 3 up to 10, total size, access, all that's fine, rental rate, 18 bucks a foot, you're built, all this is fine. And then I have a full gallery of this. And then once they click the button and they set up a time with you, then you have the opportunity to forward them to another page. And on that page, I would do something cool there to further cement the relationship somehow. So that's what I would do. If you're going to kill me if it didn't work, that's what I would do.
So the picture you would use would be more of the interior.
I don't know, because I can't see those pictures, right? This might
Right.
be the best picture, but we don't know.
Right.
And you it sounds like you don't know either, because, well, have you? I'm sure you've been inside the building, haven't you?
Yeah, I was in twice. Yeah.
Okay, so do you think that there's a better picture?
I answer it. I don't know. I have to go back through and take pictures.
Okay.
There's nothing inside. It's very administrative type space. It's not high elegant, high corporate.
Okay.
It's perfunctory.
And what is the Heart Center?
Well, the Heart Center, I actually did that lease. That's a rehab division for the major heart practice in Poughkeepsie.
Oh, cardiac rehab?
What's that?
Cardiac rehab?
Yeah, that's cardiac rehab. That's where
Oh, that's
they have
cool.
their exercise and you get monitored.
You don't have to tell me what cardiac rehab is. I had a heart attack.
In other words, looking at it
Unfortunately, I
like-
know way too much about what cardiac rehab is. But yeah, that's awesome. So then the other thing you could do too, so let's talk about who you could market to. You could market to other rehab facilities.
Yeah,
Believe it or not, there's quite a few addicted people in the country. And the number is growing and not shrinking. And addiction's a huge business and it's a ton of money. So somebody that has a rehab can pay for the lease for a month with one resident, like one deal, basically. It's so expensive. So you could look at like traditional rehab. You could also go find other people that want to do a cardiac rehab. Like, why'd these guys leave? Did they move to a different space?
what's that?
Where did the heart center go?
Well, the Heart Center is there. They have 3 more years on the lease.
Hang on, sorry.
That practice was acquired by, take care of this practice was acquired by another hospital in Poughkeepsie. So, which is about 2 miles south of this location. I don't know if they're going to bring this in under their wing there.
So the heart center stayed, but it got bought out?
The Heart Center private practice got bought out by the hospital.
But you don't know if the hospital is going to keep it or not. That's what I thought.
No,
I
we
heard.
don't know that.
So that's why you're marketing it now?
No, the other side,
The far side space, got it.
yeah, to the left of 115, which is the north side of the building.
It's this one right here. It's this, right? No, that's a
No.
completely different building.
Yeah, no, it's not that. We
So
don't,
are you-
you don't see it actually.
Is this a different building altogether, this middle one?
No, that's the space. It's a,
Because the brick looks different.
yeah, it was probably taken on a different day. I can tell the light's different.
Okay. Hang on, Zoom. Why is my Zoom not working? Oh, Control Shift plus. Whoop. All right, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. So that's confusing, right?
The building's not the same shape.
Yeah, it's not the same building. No, but it could be. Oh, this is probably what it was in a previous tenant. Probably was MDS Hudson Valley Laboratories before it was the Heart Center. Because look at the windows, they're the same. And they
You know,
probably,
Yeah, I think he maybe picked up an old picture.
so that's an old picture of a previous tenant. Anyway, a confused mind always says no, right? Yeah, look at the shrubs. The shrubs are the same. They're the same. So it's right. So a confused mind always says no. That creates confusion for sure. So the space, the extra space, because I see this entrance, which I think is this, right?
Yeah.
And then the other space is on the other side over here. Let's see what happens. Oh, and then check that out. Do you see what happened? I just clicked on this image, because when you mouse over the image, a lot of times if you click on it, it gets bigger. When I click on this one, it actually goes to a 404 error page. And it looks like you ripped off a picture, which is okay, from LoopNet, because that looks like a LoopNet logo. And do you guys put all your buildings up on LoopNet? Does that cost money to do that?
Yes, we subscribe to it.
Okay.
You can access it if you're,
Yeah.
but if you want to list it.
Yeah. A guy in our Dolph DeRusse inner circle, the real estate program, on LoopNet just found a building in Georgia and just bought it. And it's like the return he's going to get on it is just stupid. He found it on LoopNet, and I'm kicking myself that I don't go on there every once in a while to look for deals.
What kind of property?
For me,
No, what? the one-
so check it out. Columbus, Georgia has a huge courthouse. It's like the third largest city in Georgia.
Yeah.
Right across from the courthouse was this building, and the building was like, I don't know how many square feet it was. Pretty good size, 2 floors, looked really nice from the outside. Inside it was a little dated, needs some updating. He bought it for 187, which is nothing, you know? And he's going to be able to put attorneys in there without a problem. It's right across the street from the courthouse. So finding a tenant for that is going to be a cakewalk, or tenants, if he decides to build it into different offices, attorneys' offices. Anyway, so let's get back to you.
Yeah.
Does that give you enough to kind of
Yes,
go
it
on?
does. Yeah, yeah, thanks very much.
And then here's I just got texted the leadership quiz. So can you see my screen still?
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so this is the quiz I was telling you about. How do you like the design of the first screen?
I love it.
Yeah,
I think it's amazing. I actually gave the designer feedback that it was the very best thing, one of the very best things I've ever seen. It was so good. I loved it. And if you saw my design brief, like the fact I had a pretty good design brief, but I didn't talk about this. I just said that this is how I want it to feel, you know, and she just nailed it. And then when you take the quiz, a 19-year-old junior, let's take the quiz together and see the countdown timer here. A 19-year-old junior enlisted sailor reports to the submarine for duty. What is his first duty station? Clean the toilets or drive the submarine? What would you guys guess?
Clean the toilets.
Okay, we'll go clean the toilets. Do you see how it goes red when it gets under 10? You're operating in enemy territory at 5 knots at a depth of 250 feet. You're rigged for ultra quiet. What is your biggest risk to you being detected? 200 horsepower seawater pumps running at 3,600 RPMs, a coffee cup, the propeller noise, or the diesel generator, and you've got less than 10 seconds.
Coffee cup.
Anybody else?
I would say propeller noise, but whatever.
Right, we'll go with coffee cup. Your enemy's, this is so fast. Your enemy's new deep diving submarine is going to sea in 7 days. Your crew has been selected to trail it and gather vital intelligence. It is a mission that will define your Navy career. You leave the base, blah, blah, blah. You hit a reef, there's no flooding, and the hull appears intact. What is your next move? Stay on mission, track the enemy sub to gather vital intel, or abort the mission and go immediately to the base? Oh, missed it, the timer. So it's designed, it's hard to finish on time and purpose. Alert level 5, you're at war with the nation of Kurnovich. Anyway, you get the idea. So here, let me just go through it and just say, you are the captain of a $2 billion nuclear submarine. Oh, this is a good one. What do you guys think the answer is to this? You're the captain of a $2 billion submarine. What percentage of the decisions are you involved in?
Less than 5, Dave.
Less than 5, that's right. Your enemy is conducting a mock wartime battle group training, blah, 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 blah. As you prepare for the mission, what is your #1 threat? The ocean, collision with an enemy ship, detection by an enemy ASW asset, or detection by an enemy submarine?
The ocean.
That's correct. I know that to be correct because a new officer recruit has just taken an oath to join the Navy. How long until you are able? How long until they get on a sub?
No
I
idea.
would say 24 months.
No idea.
Okay.
No.
All right. Your nuclear ballistic submarine has 140 crew, carries 20 nukes. You're on patrol. Oxygen levels are recorded automatically. You find that the petty officer Singleton is one of the most well-liked crew members. He backfilled 5 of the readings on his recent watch. When asked about it, he denies it. Evidence confirms that he did it. What would you do? Remove him or give him a warning and retrain him?
Remove.
Okay. You are at 200 feet, traveling 15 knots, tracking an enemy anti-sub warfare ship operating in big swells. There's a thermocline at 300 feet. As the weather conditions subside, it appears the enemy ship might have located you. You man the battle stations. What should you do next?
No idea.
Okay, we'll just guess.
Yeah.
What's the biggest threat on a sub? Flooding or fire?
Fire, I think.
Fire.
And then, so now you've invested yourself into this, right? There's no way you're not entering your email address here. Like after doing all of that and going through the tension of that. So the lesson in here is, do you see how we created there's almost no, I just don't see how anybody could bail at this step. Yet this is the hardest step of the process, is getting somebody's contact info. You see what I mean?
Right, right.
So that's what I was talking about, Sam, with yours. It's like, you can do another step and do another step and do another step. So I'm going to go ahead and opt in. @gmail.com. How do you think you did? Now there's your full name. I didn't complete your form. You're almost there. So did you see how on the first one, we got the email address? Now we come back on another form and get the full name, but we don't do that together. You see that? But checking this box. Uh-oh, submit. And then it has a video placeholder. So your rank is cadet. You have a lot to learn before you can command a nuclear submarine. Then this is going to have the video. Access your strategy session now is the bribe to the appointment. But we break down the results. You know, a 19-year-old junior listed sailor reports the submarine. The correct answer is their first duty is to drive the submarine, believe it or not, when they get on a nuclear submarine, which is really interesting. And then, so here's an explanation, but then how it's associated with business. So then we relate it to actual business. Coffee cup was correct. So you nailed that one, Paul. The noise from the coffee cup is actually louder than those generators, believe it or not. Your 7 days, the answer was abort mission. We didn't get there in time. Correct answer, we didn't know that one.
Yes, yeah.
Less than 5%, correct. And then it explains it. Biggest threat was the ocean, that was right. 24 months was correct. That's how long it takes a new recruit to get on the sub. And remove him from the submarine was the correct answer. Because trust is, it says here, in a high performance culture where employees are empowered to make decisions, it's imperative that everyone trusts each other to do what is right, even when no one is looking. Those employees who lie and don't tell the truth lose respect and the trust of their team members. As a leader, it's imperative that you have a strong hiring process to weed out employees. So anyway, it all comes back to business stuff, right? This one says slow speed and go down to 350 feet. Fire is the correct answer. And there's testimonials, and then yes, I want my strategy session. So I click on the strategy session, right? And this is OneSub. This is the OneSub right here. It goes to the OneSub page, and I can pick a time, and I'll go like this. I'll pick it on the 18th, and I'll say 11 a.m. schedule. And then I believe there's a video we send him to on the next page, but I don't think he's recorded the video yet. So anyway, I just want to show you the process of how you can take a process, and it says you'll be redirected.
How long did it take you to do this?
Your call is booked. I asked these 3 things, blah, blah, blah. How long did it take to do this? This whole project was 47 hours is what we budgeted for this whole project. The entire thing, including planning and everything. What do you think? Pretty cool.
Who wrote this
Very
content here, Lanny? Like, we're excited to learn about your business, how we can help you. And it said, all I ask is these three things: answer, take it seriously, think big. Right? Who wrote that content?
He did. That was from him.
Really?
Yeah. Yep. That was from him.
I think it's excellent. Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah. And he's just a neat guy. He's super cool. All right. What else, Paul?
Well, what I was going to say was when you first did this, I was thinking because I'm only a basic member, Lanny, right? So obviously I've only got basic ability, right? So I was thinking like a basic person, and as a basic person, I was thinking, what has this got to do? You know, the submarine, it might be all right, but what's it got to do with anything? So, but I would think like that because I'm a basic person, right? But as you as you showed me, and then you came and I was seeing the answers, and then I was seeing how it relates to business. It really fits in with his target market, doesn't it?
Yeah. He's going after
Really
CEOs.
to his target market.
He's going after CEOs. He wants C-level executives. That's it.
Yeah, and so then it says how it relates to business, and that one about you know, trust and a strong team, and you know, that sort of stuff. And you when you're reading that, you're thinking this guy knows what he's doing. So you know, this is what this guy is asking. He's asking for you, for his trust in the end, for you to turn around your business. My business is not going very well. I'm going to have to trust someone to come in and do it. This guy's a bit different, submarine captain, da-di-da-di-da, and he knows about management, everything else. So I started to really get in, see how it comes together. It sort of attracts someone in, oh, let's do the quiz. And then you're thinking, oh, I've learned something here. I'll do the session. Maybe I'll learn a bit more on the session.
Yeah. Eric, what do you think? Because you do business consulting, you know,
Yeah, he targets a certain type of person because you have to say, okay, the submarine way of working has to apply to my company. So if you think submarine is all top down and there's no discussion and it's like this, and that's not the way how they tend to operate companies lately. So you don't have the personnel anymore. So people run away if you do it like that. So that's there's just a little thing I see. I might see a mismatch. On the other hand, yeah, the ego of the average male-female CEO, well, no problem.
That was the whole thing. Was you nailed it.
Yeah.
We're challenging their ego the whole way through. You know, do you have what it takes? You know, how do you compare with other CEOs? You know, some of the ads are all about that. You know, see how you stack up.
Yes, and how that they're very competitive. That's indeed one. And then how cool is it to be coached or consulted or whatever by a former captain of a nuke sub?
Yeah, and then the whole pitch, what is leading to is actually his whole business. We actually just flip-flopped it. So he was running a business, you know, like yours, Eric, where it was 100% consulting, right? He has a process. You buy on for 30 grand. There's 3 months, 30, 60, 90. You can do 30 days for 30,000, 60 days for 60,000, or 90 days for 90,000. Or you could do the first 30 for 30,000, then buy the next one and the next one. So it's 90 grand to engage him. And he was sinking or swimming on these $90,000 deals, which, you know, it's a good sized deal. So, you know, he's not starving, but he had this SaaS platform, and we were like, dude, you're on a hamster wheel trying to get these $90,000 deals. Why not just crank out the SaaS platform and get, you know, going back to the buck a pop from Paul, why don't you get a buck a pop, you know, and start getting subscribers on the SaaS platform. So now what happens is we're selling SaaS first, and then on the back end of SaaS, there's that consulting option for 30, 60, or 90,000 bucks.
What do you mean by staff, Lanny?
Yeah, I was going to ask that.
SaaS, SaaS, software as a service. Yeah. If you want to
What software is he selling then?
It's a leadership platform. It helps a leader track his entire organization, and it's really cool.
KPI dashboard thing.
Yeah, it's more than that, but
yeah.
Yeah. It distills the entire company. Like it could be a multi-billion-dollar conglomerate, and his process for a CEO brings the entire business into one page. And then from there, it all drills down into the different departments.
And the great thing is, Lenny, that because there are lots of those platforms, and they all are sold like, do you have overview on your business? Do you know what's happening on your business? This is the dashboard you can customize to your. That's how they're all sold. None of them is sold like this,
Mhm.
because it has to solve a problem. Your system has to help or solve a problem, and they are just sold like, okay, you want to see your KPIs, that's a problem, you don't see your KPIs. But if you have someone who's good in Excel these days, you can,
Mhm.
they work hours to produce it, but you don't see it. You get your dashboard, but here it's you have this
What are KPIs? Is it key result areas?
Key
Yeah.
performance indicators. Yeah. So
Same thing, yeah. I
Yep.
mean, exactly what you're saying with Excel. The first thing is you need to know what your key result areas are. A salesman, a sales manager, a CEO, doesn't matter what you are. You need to know your numbers are. I'm a diabetic. I need to know what my numbers are. If you know, what I mean, it's the same. Know your numbers. And you're right, Eric. Exactly. If you know your numbers, any Excel spreadsheet would do. The key thing is knowing your numbers and what the
Yep.
numbers are and
Yes,
what you're
but
measuring.
the thing with Excel is that it's not automated. It's difficult to maintain the whole thing. If you have it in a platform, like wherever something changes, the platform deals with it and keeps popping stuff up. It can say, like, it can give reminders, whatever. You can make it alive. That's the whole
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah, and it can serve up warnings. Something can go from green, it's on schedule, it's on its way, to yellow. Hey, this one's at risk. Red, something's wrong. And then it
what's
also,
the upsell? What's the upsell then? So he gets them in on the software, makes money on the software. That's the idea. And where's the upsell? Is the upsell to the 90 grand? Where's it going next?
yeah, if they want like help, his consulting for him to go into their business. So he was the turnaround CEO, so he could go into their business and look at the whole thing and show them where they have opportunities to be more efficient, be better. So yeah, it's just helping companies,
Yeah,
medium to larger companies. He doesn't really deal with the small guys.
But what's he trying to sell? Is he trying to sell the software as a service as the main event, or is he trying to sell the consultancy as the main event? What's he trying to sell?
Now it's software as a service. It used to be he would only sell his consulting, and then the software as a service was something he sold for, like, if he was doing the engagement. This is so funny. He'd sell his whole platform to a company, one-time fee of $250, regardless of company size.
250.
$250.
Thousand or bucks?
No, dollars.
$250.
$250 and 0 cents. And I was like, and he showed me all that it does. I'm like, oh, this is bananas.
I'm not being funny, but I know I'm a basic person with basic limited stuff. But I can't see why I would give a job to someone to turn around my business if it was failing, if someone was selling a really valuable thing for $250.
100%. You're absolutely right.
You
know what, Paul?
He needs to demonstrate himself. And the other thing is, it's all very well getting like 30 grand for 30 days or whatever it is, $1,000 a day. If you're exchanging an hour of your time or a day of your time for a fixed sum of money, you're an employee.
Absolutely.
You don't own your life. You're nothing. You're not a businessman. A business
100%.
person is someone that makes money when they're sleeping, from passive income and all the rest of it. So
Amen.
he's lucky he met you. He's lucky he met you, Aunt Lanny, really.
Yeah.
Have
I would
you
agree
helped
with
him,
that.
Lanny? Have you started helping him?
This, like, literally is, you can see that the placeholder video is still there. So that's the very first time I've seen that. When I just showed you, I saw a mock-up of the design. That was the very first time I've loaded that page. So we saw it for the first time together. So I already saw 5 things I want to change. So, some of those timers were way too fast. Like, I couldn't even read the questions. So on those longer questions, we got to give them a minute. 30 seconds isn't enough.
They have to have the feeling that the people, like, that are real people who can read this, and they have to have the feeling that it's possible to find the right answer in time.
Yeah, agreed.
Because fast you say, okay, this is just some mock-up thing, click, 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 click. Okay,
Yep.
of course, I'm the cook. And with my ego, I don't like to be the cook. Yeah.
Right. Yep. 100%. So we'll fix that because as soon as I started skipping the question and just went to the end, that's like, okay, that's a problem.
And what are you doing, Nanny? Are you working with him on a contract basis, or is it a shared deal, or is he part of this group, or how's it sort of set up?
No, I'm right now I'm selling a small block of hours to Branditize. So it's a Branditize client.
Oh, sorry, Branditize client.
No, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am not making money while I sleep on this, which bothers me immensely. So, Paul, you're preaching to the choir on that one.
Yes. I'm consultant is also same thing. Yeah.
Yep.
I don't make money when I sleep because I'm just a very basic member, a basic person. I don't know how. It's all above me,
But Paul, you can be elite and not make money while you sleep.
But Paul, you're going to charge.
Eric, but you are elite, so you're. You look elite, Eric. You look elite as well. You look the picture.
Paul, but your basic price is more than $250.
Yeah.
What, mine or what?
Yours.
I got no idea what my price
It's
is.
definitely more than $250.
I haven't got a price. Honestly, I haven't got a price. I don't work by the hour or anything like that, so I don't know.
No, I
idea.
know that.
That was great. All right. So
I'll take anything. I'll take anything people want to give me. I'm a basic person, really. I'm lucky to get anything, really.
That was really fun. So you've definitely turned that one around in an effective way. It was really fun doing it, but it was even funnier hearing you slap it back.
That's a hint now to say that's enough now. It's not funny anymore. I know, I get it. Right.
It was funny the first 6 times.
Yeah.
All right. So Paul, let's go to you and your new project. So
well, this is not a joke, right? I'm not joking now, I promise you. When I say that I do need some help in a basic form, it is true. And I'm not making a joke now, right? What I would like to do in 5 minutes, if it's possible, I'd like to understand exactly, not online marketing, but I'd like to understand like a landing page and where the hell do you keep them? A sort of a lead magnet, is it the same as a hook? If today you can just give me a couple of minutes on the basics, what are these things? So when you're talking about these things, I can understand what they are because it's a new world to me.
Sure. Are you serious?
Yeah, serious,
okay,
really
no
serious.
problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know what a website is to start at that level. So I know what a website is.
Well, let's start at the top then. The top is the very first thing is who is this person? If you don't know who they are, then the rest of it's going to fail for sure. And then the
target,
next,
you mean?
The target, yeah. And then what's the end you have in mind? Like, so you almost want to start with the beginning and the end. And I'm just making this up, so if it might go off the rails. Yeah. Here's why. If you don't start with the end in mind, you might go down a path and go, oh crap, I just did a whole bunch of work and it's not leading me to the end, right? So that's like with this guy, I go, the end I had in mind was that he has 1 million subscribers on this platform and he's collecting, $10 million a month in platform fees, so that was the end. Right. So the beginning is, now who is that person that's going to participate in the end? Not who's the person that's going to participate in the lead magnet, not who the person who's going to participate in the next thing. That's pretty good stuff here I'm thinking of right now. Just making this stuff up as I go along.
Yeah, but what you're saying though, this is no different to planning a business, because when you get into a business in the first thing, you should actually know what your exit is. I know it sounds stupid, but
no. I'm a firm believer in that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I do. I always work out the exit before I work out the beginning.
It changes everything. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
It guides your decisions. So this is so that framework that you do is no different on this.
Right.
Okay. You same framework. What's the quote on yours is an exit strategy. This one is, what is that last thing or the end? Hi, Dina. of the process to where they give you the big chunk of cash, or that they're just a recurring customer, or whatever that is. It could be, it's a different for a lot of things, you know? So anyway, so now that we know what the end in mind is, now we can come back and kind of set up these markers, right? So for this guy, his markers are lead, right? That's one milestone that somebody needs to, you know, capture the information.
Yeah.
The next marker is appointment. The next marker is show up for the appointment. And then the next marker is, did they buy or not? You know, buy, not buy on the phone. So this guy's doing phone sales, basically. He's going to do these little quick 15-minute strategy sessions. So then, and then is there a next, and then the next marker after that is the upsell. So if it's platform sale, then the next one is the consulting, you know, $30,000, $60,000, $90,000 consulting. And then we also built in a downsell for the people that say no to the platform or to the consulting. There's a downsell to try and recoup ad spend. So he's got a $7,000 package that he's going to try and sell for $1,000 on the phone. People say, no, I don't need this platform. He'll try to sell them 1,000. That 1,000 is to do one thing and one thing only. That 1,000 is to pay for a couple hundred more leads. Do you know what I mean? So that's the framework at a higher level. So now coming to your question, see, you asked this question of like, what's a page, what's this? So you have to have that first before you can start filling in the next thing, right? So
Right.
that's one layer, is what are those mileposts? Now, God, I should show you this. I rarely am I proud of much that I do, but sometimes I think of stuff. And actually, it was Dina that made me do this. And then I just did it in a way that she didn't. She actually gave me an assignment to do something, and then I did it. But in the process of doing it, I created a process that was better than the way I was doing things. So let me give you another layer. Ready? So
Yeah.
Here we have the begin and end, right? Next we have mileposts. The next thing is, what are the beliefs that have to happen for them to want to do each of the mileposts? What are the 5 beliefs that need to happen for each milepost? Okay. So to get the opt-in, what do they need to believe to trust to give their contact information? Next is the appointment. What do they need to believe to set the appointment? The next thing is, what do they need to believe to show up to the appointment? The next thing is, what do they need to believe to buy the SaaS platform? The next thing is, what do they need to believe to buy the $30,000, $60,000, $90,000 thing? So each one of them requires a different set of beliefs, and some of them stack. Okay, so now,
Honey, can you slow down a little bit?
sure,
Thank you.
yeah, no problem. So I'll go through it. I'll go through it. We'll keep
Nanny,
working.
are the beliefs on the mileposts the same regardless of whatever you're doing?
No, they're different almost every time.
Aha.
You know, because they're in a different place in their journey. You know, and part of it too is now on the front. When we go to the front, you have to think about those awareness stages, right? So there's different beliefs depending on who these people are, right? Where they are in their process of awareness of the desire of the problem. But we're not going to get into that because that's adding too much complexity.
Okay.
So there is the belief that has to happen at that very beginning is different for the different types of avatars, the different types of clients. So those are individual. Like I have to brainstorm a bunch of ad ideas today, which I don't feel like doing, but I'm gonna. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna come up with a bunch of different audiences, and I'm gonna say, okay, what do these guys need? What do we need them to believe? And then what are some things that they know that we can relate to? And when I think about those things that they know, I'll give you an example. You guys want a couple of examples? Is this helpful?
Well, it is, but I wanted an overview, basically, of what is a lead magnet. What is
okay?
online
So let me
marketing,
go down another level,
everything.
because
Yeah.
your question is actually at the next level. So we have beginning and end, right?
Yeah.
Begin with the end in mind. What's the end? Next, we have our mileposts.
Honey, can you
That-
slow your cadence down a little bit, honey?
Sure, yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
We have start with the end in mind.
Yeah.
Next, we have mileposts of what are those different mileposts within the process of conversion. You know, what are those in it? It could be like, you know, what are the small hinges that swing the big doors is what I want to know. You know, what are the actions that the customer
but
needs
the
to
end-
take? Well, hold
okay,
on. I'm
but the
getting to,
end-
I'm getting to your question. Just hold on.
No, okay, but
getting
just go
there.
back to the end. The
Okay.
end is the end what you want or what you think they want?
It depends. Good question. I think go ahead, Eric.
You formulated it, the platform, the guy who sells the platform with consultancy, that was the end. You said here. But the
Well,
end was what the he want to sell his platform.
Yep. And possibly there could be another step of consulting after that.
Yeah. And of course you're solving a problem because otherwise you don't sell it. So of course you solve.
Right.
Right.
So the end isn't your personal goal. Like I want to lay on the beach in the Maldives the rest of my life. It's not your personal goal. It's the objective where the business must reach for you to achieve your goal.
Well, now you're talking about something different that's actually really
Uh-huh.
valid. You're hitting on Dina's specialty. You know, if you
Right.
ask Dina, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I'm starting a business. You know, what should I do first? Dina's answer, and correct me if I'm wrong, Dina, is, well, let's talk about the lifestyle that you want. She starts with lifestyle. How is this going to fit into your lifestyle? What do you want your life to look like? So that is what Dina looks at is the end. Her end is that lifestyle. What does life look like? I wasn't going there.
Okay, I need to know, what do I do tomorrow, right? So
Yeah.
do I concentrate on the end being something that I want, like the lifestyle, or do I concentrate on what is the end for the client? Or, you know, do I want so many users, or, you know, do I want so much profit? Or
So the answer is, oh, go ahead, Dina.
I think all of those are really important, but I
Right.
think that, so unfortunately, are these at 1 and 3 on Fridays, Lenny? Because I didn't have an
Yeah.
invite. So
Yep,
I'm
they're 1 and 3.
constantly guessing. Can you please provide the schedule for me once and for all?
Yeah, I'll just add
All
you to
of
the
them.
invite.
All of them.
Yeah.
Sorry,
No problem,
I'm
Nina.
totally frustrated. I show up late. I don't miss them. I need the whole schedule like ASAP.
All right.
So to your answer, I think, and not having the whole thing and not understanding how the lead magnet goes together with this is, here's my best. The reason why I start with, what am I building this for? Why bother?
What am I building this for? Why
What am
bother?
I building this for? Why bother?
This.
Because I have accidentally built things thinking they're a good idea. And I created a job. I created a job for myself. So for example, I'm going to give you an example. I had this fantastic idea. I wanted to know, what do I know outside of Lanny? Is it just the Lanny and Dina show all the time? Or does Dina know anything all by herself? Or does Lanny know how to do it all by himself? So I thought, fuck it, I'm going to, oh, excuse me. Sorry. I'm going to start. Sorry about that. I'm going to try something.
Yeah.
So I got this
I don't think there's any chance of me creating a job or any
yeah,
work.
so
I don't think there's much chance of that at all.
but well, I created something that I was tied to from 8 a.m. until 10 p.m. 7 days a week and didn't know that was going to happen. Well, that's not what I wanted. I wanted freedom. So now I'm doing something totally separate from Lanny, which I didn't like. And I completely created a different lifestyle for myself accidentally in 3 months. So it's really important to figure out, what are you building and why bother? It's kind of like, what are your core values? How does this best represent you? Does it represent, can you create it? Because once you So for me, had I been thinking about the life that it needs to support, I would have gotten more creative on how I went about doing it. So what happens is when you say no to something or you say yes to something, both are just as important because it causes you to think differently. If you go into it thinking, oh, I'm not going to create a job for myself.
Yeah, but with
Can
respect,
I-
I don't think there's any chance of me creating a job. What I wanted to know was what is a process of online marketing? What is a lead magnet? What is what is the basics element of all this? There's no chance of me creating a job for myself.
So you nailed it just with the word there. So if I can edit what Dina is saying, so you have your life goal. So your strategy on how you're going to set up your business is dependent by what the lifestyle you want to have. You don't want to create a job, so you have to automate and stuff. Your strategy answers your ultimate life goal you want to have. Now,
Put all that aside. I've got all
Okay,
that. I want to
but
know what a
wait,
lead
no,
magnet is. I
Paul,
want to know what a lead magnet is. I
Paul,
want to know the basics of.
hey,
Yeah.
hold
yeah,
on.
yes.
I
Now,
need, hold on. So Paul, just for a second, I hear what you need to know. What I need you to do right now is just pause and relax a little bit and open your mind up a little bit. And the reason why is it's not sounding like you think it should sound, so you're not hearing the answer. So you will create a job for yourself, I promise you. Okay, I promise you will. So don't think that you won't. These are really important things. There's steps to it, there's strategies to it. So that fact that you don't think you will is dangerous for you. Okay, it's not dangerous for me, it's dangerous for you.
Can I make
Well,
a
I'm
quick,
done in the
You're not.
last 30 years. I'm
So
done
I
in the
just
last
want
30
you to,
years. I don't think I'm going to start now.
I know, I just
all
want
right,
you
hang on
to
a second, time out. There's a
just
gap
think a
here.
little bit differently. Just open up a
Hang
little
on.
bit where you're gonna get the answer. You will get the answer of exactly what a lead magnet is.
All right, let me close the gap, Dina, for a second.
But
The
I'm
problem
just
is,
saying we gotta be,
the gap is that you don't know Paul as well as, like, so let me just tell you, Paul will never work himself into any type of job because he's switched on and totally gets it. And he's built
it.
that way. He's built businesses and he starts with that.
Got it.
It's in his
Got it.
DNA.
okay, great.
Yeah.
But Dina, for
But
your
that said-
information, what I do is I deal with people. So therefore, what I do is if I'm going to do something, I ring a couple of people up and introduce me to other people and whatever. This whole world of online marketing and what a lead magnet is and actually writing content and what the steps are confuses the hell out of me. So this is why I've come to the group, because I want to launch a business in an area that you guys know an awful lot about.
Got it.
But when it actually comes to telling me, that I'm going to create a job for myself, well, why would I do something I've not done in the last 30 years?
No.
So let me
got
keep
it.
going because I
I
was
didn't know
getting
the
to the
beginning
answer.
part. So
Yeah,
Lanny,
That's right.
just go step by step through it. Give him
Yeah.
what he wants.
I was one step away.
Okay, got it.
It
Sorry
went off
about
the rails.
Well, you asked and it didn't make sense to me. So
Well,
I'm sorry.
Okay, stop.
I
Okay.
had no
All right.
idea what you wanted. Okay.
So that's all right. So I'm gonna recap just for the heck of it.
I'm
just
so
'cause
sorry, Paul.
It doesn't hurt to
No,
recap.
it's okay. It's good. It's why we're changing it. That's why we swap ideas. I learned a lot from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
already.
had no
Thank
idea
you
what
so
he was
much.
asking.
Yeah.
I
No,
was
no,
just
no.
doing
I
my
learned
best.
a lot
Sorry
from what
about
you were
that.
saying.
I
Yeah.
love what you're doing.
Dina, if you hung out with Paul for a while, you'd love him. By the way, like
No, I know I would.
you
I like
you
him.
you two think the same. That's
Well,
what
I
I
could
was.
tell because he's like,
yeah.
just give me this. And I was like,
Well, I'm
okay, I got it.
direct.
Whoa.
I'm direct.
That's how
no
I am.
mucking
Just
about.
say it like it is.
Hey,
It's
so is
11
Dina.
o'clock at night here.
Dina's very direct. All right. I call her the Velvet Hammer. She's the Velvet Hammer. All right. So let's go back and I'll just go through it. And the next step I was getting to is the answer to your question. Okay. So we have at the top level, begin with the end in mind. Then we have our mileposts. Then we have our beliefs. Okay.
Yeah.
That now the next thing is what you're talking about. The next thing is what you want. What are the mechanisms that I'm going to use to get people to through each milepost? Now, within those mechanisms, there's a whole bunch of different things we can do. We have a whole inventory of things we can use to drive leads. We have a whole inventory of things campaigns we can run to get that first purchase. We have a whole inventory of things we can do to get the next purchase and the next purchase. So let's talk about the first inventory, which is the lead magnet, right? So let's talk about different ways to get that first step, which is I need to drive traffic to something that gets me a lead, right? Is that right? Driving traffic to
Right.
something that gets you a lead. That's the
Yeah,
first step.
I mean, just an example. What was it Sam showed? Did he show a lead magnet? Did he show a website? Did he show some page? I mean, what was it we were looking at?
He calls it a web brochure, is his term for it.
And where is it? Where is it living?
His son put that on GitHub, which is a programming site. So don't do that though. Don't do it that way. It's a terrible way to do it. No offense, Sam.
All right.
Don't write that down. It's not the way to do it.
Okay, I'll scrub that out, right? Okay.
No, I'm running so late, but this is so phenomenal. I'm gonna have my head handed to me, but
We'll go. This is all being recorded, so don't worry.
yeah, I gotta go.
All right, thanks,
like
Sam.
Eric, I have to pick a couple weeks ago. I have to go pick up dinner.
Okay, no
Thanks.
problem.
This is rich stuff. Thank you, everyone. This is
You're
phenomenal.
welcome. Good to see you.
Bye, Sam.
All right,
Take
and
care,
Tanya,
Sam.
hopefully you're getting value out of all this mayhem, because we haven't even gotten to you yet. So I haven't forgotten about you, Tanya. So we're here at the beginning. Okay, we want to get a lead. Okay, that's our first mile marker, or first mile post is we want to get some contact info. All right. So what are the mechanisms? Now, if you're talking let's get specific. Are we going to specifically talk about the Brian Tracy International thing, the club?
We can, but at the minute, I haven't even got that far yet because I don't understand this stuff that you're going through. This is very useful. I need to understand basics. This applies to anything for anybody, doesn't it? Really?
Yeah, totally. Okay, so let's get in generalities. So the first thing I do is I do what's called my cold traffic marketing cheat sheet, which I know you've seen before because I did it probably 4 times in a circle.
Yeah.
I do that first. That gives me all the behaviors, all the different things, and all the targeting ideas. Then I'm creating the ads, which is in that sheet as well, like ad ideas.
Ads.
Yeah, advertisements. Yes. Digital advertisements.
Facebook or
Facebook, Google, pay-per-click, whatever okay, let me just go off of the reservation just a hair. Facebook ads now are so expensive that it makes no sense to use them, and it makes all the sense in the world to start going to Google for their search. Just saying. Right now, the cost per 1,000 impressions. Well, I should say, if done properly, you can still get cheap traffic, but right now Google is the place to go for traffic. But anyway, so what is the thing you're going to exchange of value to get their name and email address? Because it's an exchange of value, right? You're giving me your name, which is Paul, and you're giving me your email address, which is something I can use to market to you. But why should you give it to me? So that's the question you got to ask yourself is what can you give of value in exchange for that email address? Is it a lead magnet, which is a bribe?
Magnet?
Yes, a lead magnet. Yeah, it's a bribe. Let's forget the word lead magnet. Let's call it what it is. Bribe. It's a bribe.
Bribe. Great.
That's a better term because we know what a bribe is.
Right. So you go somewhere online, basically, and you're saying Google, and you sort of drag a load of suspects in to your lead magnet, and then you try and bribe them to give them your email address.
Correct.
Great. I'm starting to understand this. This is
you stated it perfectly.
Right.
So now you've bribed them, right?
Yeah.
They fell for it. The very next page, you want to, like have an action there, hopefully that starts to recoup your ad spend. So I call those a liquidator offer. Once you've gotten the information, if you can go right into a liquidator offer, that's a really good thing because that will hopefully recoup some of that spend that you just spent and hopefully get you to where you're not so upside down on your lead generation cost. In general, that's a generality.
Okay, so when you go back to the submarine guy, when he does his downsell, this is a liquidator.
Yes, absolutely.
Aha. Okay. Yes. Okay. So is your sole objective at this stage to live to fight another day then?
No. The liquidator, now his is, okay, so the answer to the question is for Mark Kohler, his $1,000 down sell is to live to fight another day? Yes. In general, though, the answer to that question is no. So when you sell them that thing, what you hope to do is deliver a tremendous amount of value inside that product to where they want to buy more. You know, it's the first step in a journey of, you know, mile post to mile post to mile post to mile post. And then okay, go ahead.
So if you're going for the positive direction that you want, but if you don't get anything, rather than leave with nothing, you want to go with a liquidator to recoup a bit of money to go again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Aha.
Yeah.
This is the same as personally, when I say the objective to the guys is to get a personal introduction, which is then where your next sale's coming from, as well as try and get the sale at the same time. So it's no different really, is it, to in person in a way?
No, it's exactly the same, actually. There's no difference. That's why if you have a level of intimidation about it, you don't have to, because you understand business so well. This is all that. It's just doing it digitally, and it's doing it, you know, instead of shaking somebody's hand and saying hi, you're inviting them in through Google instead of, you know, knocking on their door. Nothing is different in the process of business, or what happens here. It's all
They
the
can't
same.
see the twinkle in your eye. They can't see whether you're sincere. You know, they can't see if you turn up on time. You know, how are you building trust, if you understand what I mean?
So I've probably said this 1,000 times, and I'll say it again because it's worth saying.
I'll listen this time.
Here's the timeline, right? Here, pretend there's a line, not a timeline, but pretend there's a line here, okay?
Yeah.
And in this line, I have dividers. Imagine a person on this side of the line that's super frowny face, angry, and imagine a person on this side that's super happy and in love. Now they're the same person. So a person, you got to assume they're super frowny face, unhappy, because they don't know who you are. They don't care, right?
Right.
And over here, they're super happy. Now, the fastest way to build rapport, the fastest way to create revenue, the highest conversion rate there'll ever be, and there'll never be anything that's automated that'll do it, is face to face. You can see the twinkle in their eye. You shake hands. There's so many different more senses involved in the experience. You can read energy. You know, there's energy, right? You can read body language. So yeah, face to face is always the best, but face to face doesn't exactly scale for some businesses. So you got to go with some automated stuff, right? So let me just go through the degrees of separation from face to face. So the next best thing after face to face is probably going to be a video conference, you know, where you can still see the person, you're still talking live. After that, the next one would probably be a phone call. You're still talking live. However, you've lost that interaction. The next one after that would probably be a webinar. So you have a massive group of people that you're talking to. So it's still live. There's still some interaction. A generation away from that would be a video sales letter. You know, you're creating a video that's trying to sell something. And then another generation away from that would be a written sales letter. They can't see you, hear your voice. They can't judge your sincerity. They're just reading words on a page, you know? So you're right. Face-to-face is the best. However, face-to-face isn't exactly scalable for a lot of things. So then you got to figure out what's my sweet spot as far as scalability and effectiveness. Where am I going to live? So this guy, Mark, this nuclear submarine guy, right? Why do you think I went with a appointment funnel first? Because the best conversions are done face-to-face. Okay, we can't do face-to-face with him, but we sure can do video Zoom thingies. So that's why we're starting with the easiest conversion first. So, because I want him to win. I want him to get some wins under his belt. Like we did a little mini campaign for him. He brought in 15 grand just like that in 2 days. And it was like a win. The next one, you know, and this one, if he starts knocking down, you know, these wins, win, you know, there's going to be momentum. Then we'll go back and we'll start developing these automated assets to sell this platform. So what Eric said was right. He goes, I see people selling these platforms and this is how they do it. Well, we're not there, right? So how we're doing it is we're doing it one-on-one, and we are putting in this quiz or assessment to weed people out. It's purposely kind of hard to get through. There's direct language saying don't not show up, you know.
Is,
And
is
then
that the lead magnet? Is the
yeah,
quiz
the
the lead
quiz.
magnet?
Yeah, quiz is the lead magnet. Now get away from lead magnet. Forget that word. It's a
Okay.
dumb word.
Bribe, sorry, bribe. That's
No,
a bribe.
just call it a bribe. And the lead magnet, that term was derived from the people at Digital Marketer. They always make up names for stuff, you know, the such and such method and this. So it's a bribe. Okay. The bribe is on that one, I'm going to give you your results, and all you have to do is give me your contact information. I'm going to give you the results of this quiz, this assessment. So you're going to learn about yourself through these results. So that's the bribe. We're trading results that are going to give them value for their contact information. Then the next step, the bribe, is we're going to give you the secret weapon in exchange for you coming onto the phone. Then the next step of that sales process, I'm going to give you access to the platform in exchange for your money. You see? So we're exchanging, we're giving and receiving, right? So the more compelling the giving is, the more you receive. The more in line you are with the person, the ideal person and the ideal client, you know, the more you're going to receive. You know, the more value you give, the more you're going to receive. You know, if his video says, hey, you know, sign up for my thing, you know, you should because I'm awesome, would have a lower conversion rate that, hey, let me tell you what I see in your scores and how, as the turnaround CEO, I see a few things that I've noticed that you might be able to do different. Let me give you my 3 best tips. Number 1, you know, do this and this and this. Number 2, do this, this, and this. Number 3, do this, this, and this. Now, if you want more of this, I'd love to set up an appointment with you. Go ahead and click the link, and I'll do a strategy session. In that strategy session, I'm going to give you my secret weapon that I use to turn around over 50 companies as the turnaround CEO. You're going to love it. You know, so I'll see you there. Click on the button, see you on the other side. So then they click the button, right? Now we've done an exchange, right? The exchange of value is I'm going to give you the secret weapon. You're going to show up for a call. Okay. The very next page is a video. Hey, thanks for signing up for the appointment. You know, I can't wait to meet you. I think it's going to be great. I just asked a couple things. Number 1, show up. I got it in my calendar. I'm going to make you important. I'm going to show up, and I'm going to show up on time. What am I selling there? I'm selling the show up, because that is one of those mileposts I told you about, remember? After they make the appointment, the next milepost is showing up. So I'm selling the next milepost right then and there. Show up. And then to help them show up, I'm going to reinforce the bribe. And I cannot wait to give you this one page, this secret weapon. You know, you're just going to, it'll melt your brain. It's so good. Blah, 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 blah. I'm making that up, right?
Yeah.
So that it's a process, Paul, of that. It's a process of give so you receive, give so you receive, give so you receive, all the way through. And then the value of your ability to communicate what you're giving based on those beliefs, the things you know they have to believe to make the purchase. That's where you layer in the beliefs. What do they need to believe? I'm not just creating a bribe to create a bribe. I'm thinking about those beliefs. What do they need to believe to take the step, right? What do they need to believe to take the step? Now, from there, I'm designing my bribe. I'm designing my mechanism. Is it a page? Is it a quiz? Go ahead.
Yeah, to say something really interesting there. If I've listened correctly, when you said like when they're signing up, you know, in this automatic appointment thing and whatever, I think you said something like then they would sign up for it and then they would get a video or something like that. And in that, he then says, these are the 3 things: turn up on time, you know, concentrate, give it your all, whatever.
Yep.
So if like, this is a different thing to what I've seen or I'm used to, because sometimes you sign up for a webinar and it's just the only thing you hear between then and the webinar is your webinar's in 1 day, you know, it's got 4 hours to go, 1 hour to go, whatever. You're not actually getting anything else in value. And therefore, traditionally, I think there's a bit of a fallout between the numbers who sign up for a webinar and those who actually turn up for a webinar.
Yeah.
But if you were giving them some value when they've signed up for it, then you'll be looking forward to it more, wouldn't you? You'll be getting
the webinar registration is just, that's a milepost. And then when I do these, so once I have, if I showed you my webinar automation, you'd be like, oh my God, that's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it's like, It's like a war map. I mean, it's like one of the most elaborate automation I think I've ever done. From just a standpoint of where are they at and all this stuff. So let me answer your question. Or tell you what, as soon as they register for the webinar, on that very next thing, I'm selling 5 different things. I'm selling show up on a desktop or laptop computer, not on your phone. This event is not going to be optimized. This event is not going to be optimized for a phone. So I tell them the experience is not going to be as good on a phone. You're going to miss out on a lot. Now, why am I doing that?
For some of Brian's, on one of Brian's things, he's saying that. So
yeah, that's me. That's me.
That's you, is it?
Yeah, that's me. That's my language.
Yeah.
They got that.
And also, I saw your fingerprints all over the Brian Tracy University.
Yeah, I did that too.
Yeah.
So it's funny that you recognize that. So number one, what do I want him to do? I want him to show up on a desktop, laptop. Why do I want him to do that? Like, why would you guess?
You can see better, and you can. I mean, some people watch videos on their phone. I don't really use a phone, to be honest with you, so I don't really know.
Yeah. What happens when a phone call comes in? The webinar stops is the answer.
Oh, okay, because it's a multi-device then.
What happens? Okay. What happens when somebody text messages, and what happens when they get that push notification that somebody just liked their post on Facebook? You know, like, you see what I'm saying? So we're taking them away from the distractions. We're taking away the conversion rates on a desktop or laptop are 10 times higher than on a phone. So we're also setting ourselves up for one of those mileposts, for a win at one of those mileposts. Now, the other things, and I don't have them off the top of my head. Another one is add it to your calendar right now, so you don't forget. So I have a calendar link there. Another one is show up on time, because it's probably going to fill up, because I don't want them to be late. Another one is, God, there's 5. I can't think of the other 2.
Okay, but right, you're basically conditioning them for what you want them to do next, in a way.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Yes. And then if that's what you want, that's that's what you're getting. What are you bribing them with? What are you giving them?
But there's more. There's more. Well, I've already bribed them. I've already bribed them because they just registered. Now I'm going to the next thing, which is the show up. And also, in the process of getting them to show up, you can also add value so that when they do show up, there's more credibility. So once the next page goes and they get that video that tells them all the 5 things to do, then they go into an email sequence. I call it indoctrination sequence, where they're going to get some training, some free training. And hey, you know what? I know we're scheduled to be together in a couple days on the webinar. However, there was something that came across my plate. I just want to share it with you. And it was something that I thought was valuable. And it's a process of marketing where you can give somebody a bribe and they'll give you your contact information. But there's really 5 key things you need to know in order to make that effective. Everybody knows that. But what you need to do is A, B, C, D, and E. Because what most people don't do is all 5 of those things. But anyway, that's just a quick tidbit. What I want to tell you is I can't wait to see you on the webinar. Don't forget, show up on a laptop or desktop computer. Make sure it's on your calendar. And I'm going back to those 5 things. I'm using a training as an excuse to tell them to show up again. I'm building more value so that they A, show up, B, they show up on a laptop or desktop, and C, they have a higher conversion rate because there's more trust because I've had that exchange between here and here. So we have milepost, right? Milepost is the webinar opt-in. The next milepost is show up for the webinar. So there's stuff in there. And you're right, Paul, people miss the stuff. And when you miss the stuff, you have lower show up rates, you have lower conversion rates too. So that's what I'm talking about. You break it down into each thing, and then you dig into those beliefs, and then you get into mechanisms. Is it a bribe page? Is it a video? Is it then you get into the mechanisms or the tactics. So that was the answer to your question. Is absolutely your question lives in between those mileposts, and within those mileposts, there's different stuff, and there's 1,000 things we can do. We're only limited by our own creativity on what we can do in between, and how we can add value to people, and how we can, persuade them to buy our stuff or lead them towards a purchase.
Okay, final question, very quick one, and then I've got a marvelous amount today, Lanny. Thank you.
No problem.
So do you try to build the whole shebang, right? And or do you go with something a bit basic, you know, and get it working, and then refine it and improve it as you go along, or do you need to have it built before you can?
100%. 100%. I recommend on building one thing first. You know, take a step. Don't try to build the whole thing. It's the other thing is you can't build the whole thing because you don't even know if you're going to get there. You know, like I've done stuff where I thought, you know, this is a great idea and it crashes and burns on step 1. Why would I build step 4 if I just crash and burn, can't get people past step 1? I think I told Eric a funny story about, you know, a video I made where I was irritated. I was kind of pissed off and irritated at the time. I made this funny video that was making fun of the movie The Secret, you know, and I just said, well, you know, I'm going to think about this boat, and the boat's in my driveway and it's being delivered by Shakira. And I'm thinking about it, and it's in my subconscious right now. And I think I attracted it. And I go look at, I bring him to the driveway. Nope, not here. No boat, no Shakira. And then I talk about that you actually have to do stuff and you have to work. You can't just sit around and think good thoughts. You know, it takes some effort, you know. And then that got traction. So I created another step. I created a call to action. Hey, if you're interested in working really hard and blah, 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 blah for 90 days, then sign up on this thing. And people started signing up. I didn't have a thing, but I just wanted to see would they sign up for the thing that I don't have. And then now I'm like, oh, I got to create the thing. You know, the thing is the 90-day challenge that's in the membership site that you just got access to. That was a direct result of me trying a video that actually worked, then trying a page. Then it was so ridiculous. I actually put another page roadblock up and they went through that one too. And I was like, there's something to this. So I proved the idea first. Then I built the first step. Then I built a premium membership where they got on weekly. Then Dina and I built Hawaii Reboot, which is this 1-week Hawaii experience where we just kicked the crap out of them for 7 days and had a great
Don't
time.
give yourself so much credit on that one, Lenny.
Oh, okay. All right. Dina created it. Okay.
No,
all good things come
me
from
and my
Dina.
assistant did it.
Yeah, okay.
You showed up, but you did a
Right.
great job. And a lot of it was your idea. I'm just harassing.
That's all right.
you.
That's all right. Anyway, so Dina did it. Anything that's ever been positive in his work, Dina did it. Anyway, where were we? So does that make sense?
Now we're having a passive aggressive moment between a husband and a wife.
In that respect, what happened was it was a step and it worked. And I was like, well, screw it. I'll create another step. Okay, that worked. I'll create another step. Okay, that worked. I'll create another step. I much prefer doing that to I'm going to build this whole thing, you know, because if it's not proven, then it's risky. And time is money and time is life, right? Do you want to spend your life building up a bunch of stuff that you might not ever get to, you know? You know, there's all kinds of things you can do with that time. And then like Dina brought up yesterday in the session, you know, having somebody look at it and maybe see something slightly wrong with it. So we did an offer last year that I was ready to call a loser and ready to kill it. And then she came in and looked at it and said, well, why is it this, and this? She was super obvious stuff that I should have seen. And it was really smart on her part. And I made the changes she suggested. It went from a loser to, it was the biggest money maker we had last year. It was crazy. So, you know, you never know. And the last thing I'll say about it, and I tell people this every time, because everybody has false expectations of how this works. Every single thing we build on the internet that's automated is going to fail first. Every single time. Nothing ever wins the first time. Ever, ever, ever. The first version never wins. Never. The question is just how bad is it how bad does it lose? And then from the degree of the disaster, you can tell whether it's worth refining or not. That's the other thing people miss is they just think, oh, I just put it up and I did a video, I did one ad and I sent that one ad out and it didn't bring in the traffic and people didn't buy. Well, that's not how it works, you know? There's a process to this, and the process involves a tremendous amount of failure. So,
but do you question your end goal in that, or do you just tweak your journey?
it depends.
Wait, say that again.
he says, do you change your end goal or do you tweak the journey? You tweak the journey until you prove that it absolutely can't be done. Then go back to the end goal and say, does this whole thing work? You know, is what I would say. What
For
do you say to
me-
that, Dina? Yeah.
For
I
me,
gotta stand
so
up.
I've been, so when Lenny and I work together, he has an idea. I'm like the wedding planner. So he gets an idea of what he wants for his wedding. And then I come in there and I say, have you ever thought about this? Have you thought about that? Have you seen this before? And so I take his ideas and try to make some improvements or line it up a little closer to kind of the big picture. Then myself, so then I'm in charge of hiring the teams and executing. I lock onto the end goal like a pit bull and I never let it go and I never doubt it. And my whole job is to make everybody believe that this idea that's air is the greatest thing in the world and that it's going to work. Then I kind of hang on loosely to the how, how we get there, because the how, as you know, from building businesses, the how and the journey does change. It can change, or you think it's going to be this, but you realize in doing it, it's kind of led to a dead end that leads you to the right path. Now, the only thing that I am open to on the end result is better or different. I like better, it has to be, it can't be less than this, but it can be a little bit different or better, but not below. So there's a bar kind of that I have in my mind. So I don't let the end result go, and I only let it change if it becomes better.
So if you say you plant your flag in the sand, and then you move everything in heaven and earth to get to the flag.
Yeah, go through brick walls, die for it, whatever. Yeah.
Marvelous.
Yeah. Now I wouldn't recommend that because it's put me in the hospital twice, but I do hang on to it that tight because because I have to get like just in love with it. Like I have to have a love affair with it in order to make it happen.
Have a passion for it.
Hard. It's so hard. It's the hard, to me, from idea to, we've always been genius at idea to 5 million. That's our sweet spot. It's the hardest part. It's like lifting a rocket. Takes the most fuel. It's the hardest, you don't know. I mean, it's just, to me, it's kind of, I wish we were better. I wish we were good at 5 million to 40, to be honest with you, and somebody else would get it started. But it does, as you know, it really just takes like sheer grit and belief. And then you just have to believe that there's a way, and you can't take no for an answer.
Well, it's Edison, isn't it? Then it's a light bulb. 2,000 ways not to make a light bulb, and in the end, you
yeah,
know.
Yeah, and there's a ton of failure in it, or what? So that's kind of how I got that there is no way to fail unless you quit. Is like, just because the light bulb doesn't turn on, to me, doesn't represent a failure. It just represents one step closer. I had to do that to get to the next idea.
Yeah,
I had to do that to get to the next whatever. So it's never.
Yeah, that's brilliant, Dina, because to be honest, I wasn't sure if the conversation was going in the direction that you may not get to your goal. Well, wouldn't that be disappointing to me, because I've already made the goal.
Oh, you and I would get along really well.
And now I'm just looking for how to get there, but I'm going to get there.
Yeah, so it's like just grabbing, this is where kind of when we were talking yesterday, Lanny, about like a beginning, intermediate, advanced, and a little more structure, where I think it would lend a hand to a program like this, because there is some things where we're talking about it where it would be helpful if you guys had like a worksheet on steps, or some sort of, some sort of written out stuff, because it's hard to always grasp words. So as that stuff comes along, if Lanny lets me get my hands on this project, then, you know, even if you guys aren't a part of it, we could still pass along those sheets or those documents or things like that. You know, we'll keep in touch. So I don't want to rip you off. But yeah, I never let go. I
Yeah,
never
no,
let
brilliant,
go.
brilliant. I think I've taken up a lot of time now. I was meant to be 5 minutes, so sorry about that, but very, very useful, both of you. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
thank
well,
you,
thank
Eric, as well.
you. Sorry
you,
about
Eric.
earlier. I
No,
came
no,
in too late, didn't know enough.
No.
And
Oh, don't
yeah.
worry. Don't
but I
it's
think
fine, you know.
you and I are a lot alike.
All right, let's get to
Good.
Tanya, because Tanya's been waiting here for exactly an hour and 52 minutes.
So I'm going to say something about Tanya. Her and I have been talking.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, one of the things that, you know, like as I was talking, she's kind of the reason why I thought of it. She's the actual reason why I thought of a beginner
Right.
class. So you being here, Tanya, gave a great idea. But her and I were talking because she was considering not quitting, because it's like, you know, it's just going right over. And I said, here's the reason why I wouldn't quit if I were you. The information in this class, I would download every single video if I were you. I'd stay for the whole thing. I'd download every single video. And when you get to the part where you need to execute this stuff, you're going to be really glad, because it took us years and years and years and hundreds of thousands of dollars to be able to teach 1 hour of this.
Millions, not hundreds of
And
thousands.
so I told her that I would, when a beginner course came up, that we would give it one to her for complimentary, just the first one. She might, you know, you might want to take it more than just once, and that maybe we could set up just an hour call for her, not knowing that it would be such a diverse crowd, to maybe help her get some clarity. But I would start now with some clarity. We could start working with you right now, Tanya, and I would stay for that reason only. Just save yourself some money in the future, because you'll get there.
That will be amazing, Dina.
You'll get there. You'll be glad you stayed and downloaded everything. I promise. I'd have it transcribed if I were you, and then just start highlighting it.
It's exactly what I did with the Inner Circle with Brian Tracy. I was not now I'm launching something, now I'm really into something, but then I was getting my idea across, like, what does it take? Is this the way I want to go? Is this, you know, I was getting my idea, and I got all the sessions as well, and now I'm going back through them, and now it's like, oh yes, this is wonderful, this is gold.
Wow.
Yeah.
Lanny, is that something, maybe instead of her having to wait, can you provide maybe some of those videos to her?
Oh, she has access to all those. Yeah,
she
has
does.
access. Yeah.
Okay. So that's a way too, and you'll get familiar. Like, I think it would be helpful too, like Paul was saying,
which
like
one?
a lead magnet,
Which one?
you know, like having a definition page, like all these terms and the definitions to them, so that people understand sometimes the concept of it. But I'd love you guys' feedback. Anytime you have any stuff like that, just start throwing stuff in the chat, because we save the chat, or, you know, or the video, and then we can go back and get those things that you feel like would have been helpful.
Lani, what kind of videos you're speaking about?
Well, what Eric was talking about and Dina was talking about was, by the way, is that your painting in the background?
It is.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I love it.
Thank you.
It's beautiful. Is it that big?
It's not that, but maybe half of it.
Okay.
And I am doing not big enough, because I don't have the place for doing that. I am doing the backyard. Yeah,
it was really cool. I thought it was like all of a sudden I was like, I wonder what museum that's from. And then I thought, wait a minute, Tanya's an artist. Did she do that? Wow, I really like it. I think it's super cool.
Thank you. I did it when I was the first time in Hawaii. Like, my impression from there, like, it stays in my heart. Like, okay, what kind of videos first you're talking about in the?
They were referring to the Brian Tracy Inner Circle membership site, which is on briantracy.com. So you go to briantracy.com, go into courses, and then log in, and you have access to all that.
Yes, but which is that exactly?
Which videos to go in there and look at?
Yeah, about making videos or what?
What do you recommend, Eric? And by the way,
Yeah.
I didn't mean to just jump right over you. What
No,
an
no,
amazing story.
don't worry, don't worry.
No, that's the coolest story ever.
For which one?
I like the number 1 and number 2 from August. I love them a lot. It's where Lenny and Dina are explaining about the customer, type of customer, the why. I love that one a lot. It's they take long, but the time to answer the questions is in it as well.
Mhm.
So you just take the time of the video, you have your answers at the end of the video. It's a real workshop.
Yeah, start at the beginning. That's right at the beginning of the program too.
Yes, that's right. And then from there on is more like, what do you need? Then it's more, what do you need? And yeah, then I don't know it by heart. I mean, we
Okay,
work.
I will check that for sure, but I wanted to ask something about what Dina said, because this is something start really with the end in mind. Because where I'm placing these paintings, because like I cannot not paint that for sure, and I have some other stuff, and how do I put them on the that road, steps first, second, and let's say I wanna buy property in Hawaii in 5 years, in 10 years, how can I like settle this stuff with the lifestyle that she said, oh, I want to live, and maybe if we find time to for each of us, obviously, to do that planning, that will be amazing. For some reason, alone, it's difficult for me. Maybe next super Saturday or Sunday, maybe if we can do that and help each other with that, because I think at least my mind, I absolutely gotta know where I'm going, like absolutely gotta know where I'm going.
So
Because
Tanya, do you see the painting first in your mind?
Dina, I meditate a lot, and I saw in one on share auction, one of my paintings hit $1 million.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but if I don't put myself on this stuff, nothing is going to happen. That's possibility, and I saw it, and like when I saw it, oh my god, I woke up because it was crazy.
I just had the chills, Lenny. I have the chills all over my arms.
And I know totally I have about 30 only size that a little bit bigger, and I have them, and I can do a painting like 2-3 days like that. Like for me, it's like really piece of cake, that, and I'm not doing anything about that.
So I had an idea.
You're
Can I
in
run,
class.
Tanya, can I run an idea by you that I just had?
Sure.
I know you love the synchronicity stuff and all that. However, why not do your paintings? I mean, you got this God-given talent. Now here, let me run the idea by you. Ready? You ready for the mechanism? So we talked about the front, right? What if you gave away a print of that painting? Now, hang with me. Yes. Instead of a free plus shipping book offer, you have a free plus shipping painting offer. And
that's a great lead.
You have I want to give you my painting for free. And then you have a checkbox upsell that says, do you want to get this one too? You know, it only costs an extra, $5-10. And then the next one, you're talking about the original. This is an original. This is the one you just bought there's only one. Here it is. And when somebody buys it, this whole thing is coming down. Like I'm going to take it down. Like basically the whole mechanism crumbles and you put up a new one with a new painting. Do you see? Does that make sense?
Lanny, that's genius.
I think
I
that's
love that. Take it down once it's But
just blows
that's
up. The
like-
whole funnel blows up and it's gone. You can't get prints anymore, nothing.
that is the most
And the prints are
miraculous
numbered.
plant in the world.
They're numbered prints and you're autographed. So the prints have value.
That's so good.
I love that. Like, no offense, but maybe that is the synchronicity, is that.
That's so good.
Maybe the question is how a print good enough can be made by size like that, and how this can be done. Obviously, it's possible.
Yeah.
I
So
would
I
the
come-
downloadable version, Lanny, that they can literally just download. Like the first thing would be just a simple one, and then they can have one sent, but no, it doesn't have to be that big. Oh, you mean like,
I have different sizes.
yeah,
so
Different.
yeah.
So let me answer that, because I was in the printing industry for years and years. So here's how it works. You take a high quality picture of your painting. So you have to get somebody to take a picture of it on a tripod with a decent DSLR camera with good lighting. Then the great thing about printing these days, in the old days, you'd have to order 5,000 prints or else it didn't make sense, because the printing presses, the process of, stripping and plating and the whole, loading the paper and all of that, unless you ran 2,000 or 3,000, you shouldn't run one. But these days, the digital printing is so good that you could do it basically on demand. You could, and I bet there's places that actually would send it out on demand. They would actually, you give them the file, as orders come in, they fulfill it and send it out and print them on demand and do the whole thing. I guarantee you there's somebody that would do that, and people that do that.
So I'm taking the picture, or gotta
No,
somewhere day to
I would
day?
see if you can find somebody that's in your local area that's good at that, because the quality of the picture is going to determine the quality of the print. So like that one that is in the background, who took that picture?
My husband, most probably.
It was you?
My husband.
Oh, well, then have your husband do it. It's fine.
Yeah.
And just have them do it at a really high resolution, and then give the high resolution to an on-demand printer, and then just print them as you need them, and then number them and sign them, and boom, you got your thing. And then the ad could be you just talking about your painting, what inspired you. I was in Hawaii and this is what I was feeling, and give the behind the scenes of why you did what you did and how you were inspired to do it. And at the end of it, you say, by the way, I'd love to give it to you for free. If you want it, just click on the link, and you just have to pay. All I ask is that you pay for the shipping, and I want to give it to you for free. I'm going to sign it and I'm going to number it. And then, oh, by the way, when somebody buys the original, I don't do any more prints. The whole thing's done and gone. So maybe someday it'll be worth a whole bunch of money. I mean, that is a good pitch. I'm glad we're recording this, because I'm going to give you I should give you the script of that. But dude, that's it. I'm telling you, that's it.
I spoke.
But you can quit if you want to. Go ahead. I'm
with
just
what?
kidding. This whole, you can quit if you want to. I'm joking. I'm kidding with you right now.
Lenny, I raised 7 kids and brought them to Canada. I'm not giving up like that.
I know. I'm just kidding. I was joking. I knew that.
My husband was so not on board for these prints, because I spoke once with him about that, but he said, you have so many paintings, why do you need to do prints? It's maybe cheaper for you to do just paintings. But yeah, for the selling purpose, I don't know.
I think it's a winner. I'd do it.
So make launch for the paintings, or
Yeah, it's not really a launch, but it's a really simple process. Just do me a favor, try to get the picture done, or just give me a picture of something that you've done already that you have that's a painting that you can sell. Like, pick one and let's just do it and see what happens. And I'll walk you step by step through that. That's what those Saturdays are for. Those Saturdays are for, hand holding you through the process of doing it. And then, oh, by the way, I bought a ClickFunnels account for everybody to use, so you don't have to have any of that stuff. Oh, by the way, you know, with the program, you get an email sequence. So we'll set up a little lead generation thing for you, for people to, you know, for you to email people and upsell the print. So why don't we just do it on your next Super Saturday? So your job would be to get a really good high quality picture of one of your paintings that you want to sell. And then on the next Super Saturday,
Only
we'll build
one?
it. We'll build it. Well,
Only one?
Get a
do
couple of
20, I don't care. Yeah. Yeah, maybe do a bunch, because then we can like talk to the group. Hey group, what do you think would sell the fastest? What do you think? You know, maybe get some feedback on which one to do first.
The other thing too, Tanya, is it's a matter of being able to, okay, so just going through the process, regardless if it works, the values in learning the process. So
Mhm.
don't worry about, is it going to work? Don't worry about that. That'll stop you from even doing it.
Mhm.
Okay. So the whole idea is like, and you guys aren't late, by the way. I just saw your message. This is actually from earlier.
We
So
haven't stopped since 1 o'clock.
it's
so we're still
running
going.
over. So you're perfectly on time. But so I would almost challenge everybody to just, I don't care if it's a cookie jar that you bring, like bring some kind of idea of, you know, a lead magnet or whatever, that to the next Saturday. And then that way everybody can go through the same process. And if you've already done it before, you'll improve it. If you've never done it before, you know, you'll learn it. But it's about going through the process that will be the value. And then once you go through the process, so this is kind of back to Paul and I, what we were discussing about, do you hang on to the end result? And then Lanny speaking earlier, and I've heard him say this 1,000 times, plus we've experienced it. Like we were saying, the last, yesterday, I think we were talking about how he had a whole funnel and it was falling apart, not working, and he was going to hack the whole thing. So, you know, even the best of them create something that doesn't work, and you have to refine until it does. That's where you don't let go, right? You don't let go. So it may not work, Tanya, and that's okay. And chances are it's not going to the first time. It's the process. It's so important. And it's invaluable what you'll learn. And then what happens is once it's done, then you start refining and tweaking and figuring out what parts are broken, what parts aren't effective. And then you get to, maybe that's the next part, is we take yours or someone else's and we look at it and go, okay, where do we think it's not working? And here's the information that we look at to figure that out, because that's important. That's super important, you know, because most people try something and they're like, well, it didn't work. Well, if we would have given up when it didn't work,
if we'd have given up when I bought, how many golf shirts did I buy? And they totally just, I was like,
oh my God, it was like 70 or 80 grand and it just about broke. I mean, we almost went broke twice, you know.
I bought these golf shirts and I was like, how could we go wrong? They're only $4. They're college shirts. They're nice. Oh, it can go wrong.
But you know what? That's the power right there. Like it probably, Lanny was in charge of buying, but sometimes you got to collaborate with your buys. You know, sometimes you need to talk with someone else because you might not be asking yourself the right questions when you're doing something. So it's always good to kind of collaborate and have somebody ask you those tough questions, because that might have prevented that buy, and maybe not, but at least both parties are saying, yeah, we should do it.
Yeah,
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
sometimes collaboration does help,
absolutely.
because that made things tough.
Yeah.
That
Hey,
made things-
Dina, I think we should roll right into Kim if that's okay, because Kim's kind of in not the same situation as Tanya, but not too far away.
Well,
But-
you know more about everybody than I do. And I know this sounds, it's super funny that I can execute stuff and sometimes I don't even know what the name of it is. I just know how to do it, like get it done. So like when is what you're talking about with her, it is a lead magnet.
Well, no, you know, why don't we give Kim a little backstory on, or Tanya, why don't you tell
But it's
Kim
not, you wouldn't consider it a lead magnet, like giving away?
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just
So-
saying,
I'm just saying, maybe by the end of this call, you can, just give a couple ideas for everyone, or everybody can kind of start thinking of something that they can start with. And it's just about starting and doing it. It's not about, you have to have the be all end all. It's about the process. Don't forget, it's about the process. Okay. Like you can say, okay, well, I'm going to sell, this is going to be my lead magnet. I mean, and I don't really care what you bring. I care that you take something and go and do the process. Just so that when you have the right thing, or you think you have the right thing, you know how to do the process. Does that make sense? And then everybody's kind of doing the same thing. Then there's going to be a lot of things to talk about on the follow-up. And it's going to make sense to everybody because everybody's doing it.
Mhm.
I don't know if you think that's a good idea, or if you guys like that idea, but that's kind of what we've been talking about for the last while. And it
All right.
never hurts to go through it. We've been through it 300 times. You might as well go through it a couple times,
Mhm.
because you're just going to improve, and you're going to see things different, and you're going to hear it different. And it'll be very, very valuable. I promise you. Do you like that idea, Lenny? And then you can prepare for it too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike.
For sure, yeah. And
What do you
I
think,
want-
Tanya? You like it?
I do. And I want to actually, you asked me a question about synchronicities, knowing that I love them, why I'm not doing the paintings, and now I'm dealing with the book, because I think these synchronicity are going to help a lot of people.
Mhm.
And I'm used to think about people, not about me. Maybe because I'm mom of 7, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But I know these synchronicities change my life, and it's life I couldn't imagine I live.
Okay, so it's your passion project, right?
Yeah.
Are you in a position where you want to make money?
Yes, this is the other part. Yeah, everything is okay, but the money.
So let's do two
Wow.
things.
So can she sync that together with this?
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
is there a way to incorporate the synchronicity
Yeah, you
I
could-
into it, instead of like, it's this or it's this? How do you merge the two?
Mhm.
I'm doing painting for the clients. I did couple of times, but the results are amazing. I can manifest really babies, relationship with paintings, prevent accidents, because I'm channeling and putting on canvas. It's not even me, I'm just channeling it. So I can do that, but still I have a lot of already paintings. Maybe working on them, I can prepare them for the client also. But yeah, something like that.
So Lanny,
So,
wouldn't
Gina,
you have several points of entry then?
Yeah.
Maybe she has 10 different paintings that represent different types of this. Is she calling it synchronicity? Is that what we're calling it?
Yeah, so
So our painting that we had that gal do for us, like, it still holds true. I know exactly what you're talking about, because we had a painting commissioned. It's like 4 foot by 8 foot. And
turn the
she
camera.
totally channeled the whole, I was like, I don't really know what I want. These are the things that are important to me. Go ahead and interpret it. What she came up with at first, I was like, And she flew from North Carolina to Arizona, and they flew it out here, and they put it on and stretched it on the thing and presented it to us. And at first I was like, those aren't the colors that I wanted. Like, I was taken back by it. Today, I was just standing at the top of my stairs a week ago with somebody in my house describing how true it is and all about it. And she was like, oh my God, that's totally you guys. Like, so you can, maybe her avenue is, whether it's healing or relationships or, whatever these, pick 4 or 5 lanes that And then that way, when we're talking about getting this painting, this is kind of what it represents. This is how she can incorporate, it's not just a painting. This painting does X, Y, and Z. Or the purpose of this painting is X, Y, and Z, or you know,
First is
the
healing.
modality,
Healing for sure.
the meaning behind it, or the, you know, the power behind it is.
So
X, Y, and
let me jump in for just a second because I have an idea around this. First of all, selling tangible things is almost always much easier than selling intangible things, right? So for example, it's easier for me to sell somebody a salad. Hashtag not a hypocrite. Hashtag it's hard to get fat eating salads. Anyway, so this is tangible, right? I can eat it. It provides nourishment and it's food and I get to live another day, right? Not too hard to sell. Now selling how to have confidence on video or how synchronicities can change your life, that's harder. You know, you're selling something that's not tangible. You're selling something that's an improvement offer or something that's going to improve their life. So here's my idea. This is why certain funnels, giveaway funnels, work so well. Start with the tangible, which is the painting, the free plus shipping giveaway of the painting, the print, and then lead into, now that you've covered your ad spend and you're liquidating your ad spend, then funnel those people into the intangible, which is the synchronicities. Hey, I know you love my painting. I'd love to tell you about something that I do, you know? And one can just lead into the other and do the easy one first that makes the money and then let it fuel your passion project, which is the synchronicities. That would be
So
my
this is where the how changes right here. Like she has this end result of wanting to do, you know, more of a life-changing thing, but the entry point, and it can't be a bait and switch where it's misled, you know, it has to kind of be in alignment with. That's why I'm saying is like, how do you incorporate a little bit of that wording with your painting so that you're attracting that person? That's why it's really important to figure out who your ideal client is that would love a painting that has this meaning. They're not looking for art. They're looking for the piece of art to have a change in their life. Do you understand? It's different. They're not art collectors. They are
meaningful people. They're meaning collectors.
Yeah, like
they collect meaningful moments.
Okay, so yeah, so everything that generally I have hanging up, it has to mean something to me. It's like a tattoo. Okay, all tattoos have a meaning behind them. I don't know any that don't. So think of yourself like, and maybe even look at the industry of tattoos. It's a 1.6 billion industry. And that was what, years ago, Lanny, when I did the henna place, is it represents something to somebody. It means something to them. They had an experience from something and they wanted something. So it's like, that's how I would position it, is kind of like that. So it's kind of a cool process. I'm so glad she's here. I'm so glad she's here because this is such a good example of like you and I going back and forth with something and showing different ways it can be done. Like, I think people just get so tunnel vision. It's gotta go like this. And it ruins their opportunity to make it get to where it's supposed to go. So that's where I really hang on to the journey loosely. I'm open to things that I would have never thought would have worked, because it's most of the ones that I didn't think would have worked. And same with Lanny, I know for sure, are the things that worked. So oftentimes he'll try 3 or 4 things, the ones that he's in love with, that he thinks should work, and then the ones that are not so obvious. And it's usually the not so obvious that kind of grab. And because what you're really trying to do is, you know, you can even take one and word it 5 different ways to see which one works. So you take the same process, but you change all the language and how you're promoting it or presenting it. And the people decide. You don't decide. We never get to decide what people are going to do.
The market always decides
us what to do. So we just throw our ideas out there in a few different ways, and we let them tell us which one we should use. So but no matter what, we're still going to wind up here. But they're kind of the ones that determine which one they like. So we never get, and it's usually something we would have never guessed. And we're like, God, that's kind of weird. Okay. If that's what they want, so a lot of times, like we do a lot of split testing, where we test one idea against another. And oftentimes, like one time we did one on price, and we do a lot on price, but we used to split test every single little thing. And we gave people the choice of price and they picked the higher price. So we sold it at the higher price. Remember that in 6 minutes, Lonnie, where the premium offer, we did what, 69, 79, 89, and 99, and they picked 89.97.
Yeah, it was 57, 67, 77, 87, 97.
And they picked
87 was the winner by far.
Yeah, so you don't really know.
More people bought it $87 than $57, which makes no sense. But then you're talking about a premium offer. So, oh, well, it's 87. It's not cheap. It must be good. Could play into it,
I mean, granted, that's more advanced stuff, but you would be surprised. Sometimes you might just need to adjust the price. Sometimes it's too cheap for what you're selling. Yeah. They have this illusion, well, if it's that much, it's not worth anything, so you would be, it's really, it's kind of an adventure. It's not real predictable.
Good way.
So it's like you're certain that you're going to wind up here, but you really can't be certain how you're going to get there. It's really kind of, so I think that's why I've always loved this business so much, is I like adventure. I like a challenge. I like to think. I like to problem solve. I love doing something and it not working, and all of a sudden we got it to work. I mean, I get so excited. I am like a kid in a candy store. I'm like, there's times where we're high-fiving in the living room going, oh my God, it worked. So, I mean, it's the journey that's so exciting. And then like how you have to think so differently and who you have to become to make it work. And, so I personally, I get a thrill out of what happens mentally to me through this process and how big and expanded my mind gets in the process, because it does get locked on and it looks so, my awareness is so little over a lot of stuff, and to grow like that and to see things differently is, to me, fascinating.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I just do it to learn, I do it to learn. I don't even care about the money, and I love the cash. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not a cash girl, but it's not what drives me to do a project. And if it did, I would never do as well. So I just, it has to have a reason. It has to have a purpose. It has to have something beneficial for, it has to provide something of great value to people that makes a difference. And then it also provides.
I don't think this has a value, which is stupid, obviously. So I will need to find someone who can speak like properly for my paintings, because so far I can't do that. So I gotta find someone.
Okay, so first start with you just haven't figured it out.
I just thought of something.
First thought is we always have to change the way we think first. And you know what? I can't write. My grammar is like second grade. It's so bad. Like it's really bad. So I've always once I get to a certain place, I have to hire an assistant to write for me. All my emails, everything. I've just never taken the time to learn. I was super stressed out as a kid and I missed it in school.
All skills are learnable. I understand that, but you cannot do everything. See, I love to do that.
So yeah, you'll have, you can have somebody describe, and that's another thing is you could have the people in here start making, start describing what they see in that painting, and you're going to get, 10 different ideas. And that's going to give you some thought about the way other people perceive it. Like Lanny, he totally described why he liked it, why he loved it, what it stopped him from talking, and all of a sudden he was talking about.
Dina, can I say one quick thing?
Yeah.
I thought of an example of a tremendous failure, and that tremendous failure I have an example of is this program. You want to know why? This is I just did the math. Okay, I added because so the revenue came in from this program. I subtracted transaction fees, then I separated the percentage that went to Brian Tracy, and then I calculated the number of hours, and I figured out. I just did the calculations, and what I not including Dina's time, so I'm not even factoring in Dina's time. It's $38 an hour, is what it comes out to. If you'd asked me, would I do this program for, would I spend that much time doing something for $38 an hour? I'd be like, you're crazy, no way. I'd be like, no, not even close. However, this is a tremendous failure, but it's not. Do you know what I mean? Like what you just discovered, you know, money doesn't, you can't put a price on that, you know? There's a lot of parts of this that, you know, I'm learning too, like the framework that I explained, and you know, Eric, I've never explained it that way, right? Of taking, like Paul asked a question, and he was kind of stubborn and stuck a little bit, but him being stubborn and stuck forced me to explain it in a way I've never explained it before. And after I did it, I was like, that was pretty good. I should, like, you know, I have some of that framework mapped out, but not all of it in that way.
So he's causing Lanny to grow.
Mm-hmm.
Do you see? It's like growth. Like that's the value in it all. And to your credit, Lanny. So Lanny was talking about taking over this Brian Tracy thing. And then when he spun it off into this, I actually didn't think it was a good idea. Okay.
No, she thought it was a terrible idea.
I was just like, whatever. There's a million, you know what? Stop putting your effort over there, blah, 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 blah. After 2 classes, I go, oh my God, that's the most brilliant thing you've ever, whoa. And I said yesterday, I want in, you know, like I said, this is one of the best concepts. It's going to work. So like, had he even listened to me? Like I wasn't like, don't do it. This is stupid. I was just like, nah, you know, I don't understand. You know, it just doesn't seem right. You know, I was kind of a doubter, but he does what he wants whenever he wants anyway. So I knew nothing I would have said would have stopped him. I mean, Lanny does whatever he wants. So there was nothing that I could do. I just gave him my 2 cents and for what it's worth. But had he stopped every time I thought something was a bad idea, you know, I mean, granted, are there times where he should stop? Yeah, not necessarily on ideas, but other things. But there are times where had he listened, you know, I mean, look what I would have missed out on. Like, this is one of my favorite things right now in business because of the learning, because of what it's morphing into, because of, you know, we have been thinking about certain things for a while. So is it
now
$38 an hour? Way more.
Yeah, and now is it?
What it'll turn into is just beyond value.
Now we can go back, Dina and I, and go, okay, what is the lead magnet for this thing? What do they need to believe to get the bribe?
Do we break it up into a few programs? Do we do this? Do we do that?
Part of it was proved, and is it a valuable program? Well, I think it is. You know, you guys might think different, but I think there's value in it, you know, so.
So you're on the beginning of something that we're not quite sure exactly what it's going to turn into.
So ta-da, welcome to failure. Here it is.
It's working.
Here we are.
I can tell it's working. There's certain indications that it's the right thing.
I love that failure. I love it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
it might be interesting. I've got the picture and I've been looking at it for a while. I'd love to see what everyone else thinks about the picture. I would.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, Paul. Thank you.
We could all say, Eric, well, Eric's about to go to bed, you see. Keep him up. Go on, Eric. What do you think about the picture?
Eric's half asleep. He's done.
No,
He's tapping out.
Yeah, describe that.
I love it. But I love already, because when Lenny said about the museum, I love the whole setting of the picture with the guys holding it. It makes it dramatic. Um, yeah. When we were talking about the size, maybe you can even say choose your size in which you want to have it. That you can.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for the artist for all paintings. I know the artist
Oh,
has his voice there, but you could say, "Hey, I want this one," or "Oh,
oh, that's the upsell. The
yeah."
upsell is the size. Oh, yeah. 8.5 by 11 is free, just could be for shipping. Checkbox upsell is, would you like it in a poster form? 3x4 or whatever. And then you could go to even a large format print, or and then the print. Oh,
Then
that's good. That's really smart. I love that.
Paul, what
I
did you, how
started-
would you describe the picture?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm in the past, I've probably been described as emotionally barren and various other flat adjectives all the time. But a guy that worked with me, he retired after 22 years, a couple of years ago, and he painted the picture at the back, and then some others around here. And I didn't have any interest in art at all, but he got me interested in art. And what he did was he showed me his paintings like this one here, and then he showed me what it represented, because I like the colors. I see it's bright. I look at it, I think it's positive, it's vibrant, but I don't know what it means. So what he did is I bought painting after painting after painting of his, because he helped me understand what it was. And now when I'm explaining to other people say, "Oh, that's a nice picture." What I say, "Yeah, it's got no beginning, it's got no end." And I just explain everything that he explains. And it makes me sound really clever and intelligent and creative and arty and everything. Everyone says, "Well, you're really interested in art, aren't you?" No, I just remember what Jean told me. So what I'm saying here is that I'd love to know what people think and how to interpret this. Because I know it looks nice to me and positive, but I don't know what it means. That's so if you were selling the frame in the picture, and like Lanny said, you were selling the story with it, this is the story behind the picture. Wow, that would be worth a lot more money to me, because at the minute it's vibrant. I'm a bit of a caveman when it comes to this sort of stuff, but I'd love to understand what it means, and then I would seem more clever than I really am.
Okay, Paul, I love this because
Thank you.
there's a couple things that came out of it. Did you say you went to Hawaii, Tanya?
I went to Hawaii a couple of times, but that was after the first one.
Okay, so because I first started going to Hawaii, I remember flying home one time saying, "Lenny, how do I bring a little piece of this with me home?" I said, there's a feeling I have when I'm there. And how do I bring a little piece of paradise back with me and keep it there? How do I keep that a little bit of aloha in my life?
I explained it exactly.
It's your
like
strap
that.
line. There's your
This is
headline.
from Hawaii. I brought you on the plane.
Wow.
And so it's a piece of paradise that you bring home. Like I kept on asking him, how do I capture that and infuse it in me and live it somehow, when I get back, because I get so busy and I get so focused on a goal that I forget to have a little aloha in there, right? That's how I got the Velvet Hammer, that name, right? So when you described Hawaii, as I've been sitting here looking at it, it started over time to come to life, because at first it just looked like, a whole bunch of stuff. Well, now I see the birds of paradise colors in it, and I see the greenery of Hawaii, and I see the leis of Hawaii, and I see all kinds of Hawaii in there because of what you were talking about. And it's starting to change and have some kind of order to it. And it looks like a little bit of the jungle of Hawaii, and there's just so much in there that looks just like Hawaii to me now. But there's this place that we lived for 6 months when we were launching something, and when I went out to the driveway to the left, there were these flowers and these trees and different things, and it looks like that. So the whole And then, so I looked up the meaning of aloha because I wanted to know, like, what does it even mean? And that's how I started infusing it into my life, because the A stands for something, the L stands for something. And it's basically, you know, I welcome you. What I have, you may have. Aloha in short is breath of life. It means I give you, you know, hopefully as a result of being with me, it gives you more life. You know, I'm going to breathe life into you. I'm not going to take from you. So it's all about contribution and harmony, and what I have, you may have. And, you know, no matter if we're apart or together, it's you get to take this aloha with you. So when I look at your painting and Paul was talking, I was thinking about Pink, the artist, the singer. A lot of times I've heard artists say, I don't like to tell someone what this song means because I really want them to have their own interpretation of what it means to them.
So true.
But you have to look at it long enough to experience something with it. So, you know,
I gotta learn to speak about them.
but the story that you're sharing, like how you loved it, that's what sells online, is people emotionally getting involved. The description is, and on video, you almost have to be a little more animated. You almost have to be a little more exaggerant and very descriptive emotionally. So the things that work really well are emotionally engaging experiences for people. That's what sells online, because they have to be, their whole, they see it, they hear it, they're reading it, you know, they have to somehow scoop it up and put it inside. And that's where I was saying, when you're talking to your person, you have to talk to them on a core level. I'm talking
Like
about
to
hitting
the
their
heart.
emotions. I'm talking about talking to their heart, you know? So somehow, even in business, you have to paint a good enough picture that goes out of logic and into someone's core, into their heart, into their soul, to where they feel like what you have, they need. And that need comes from emotion. It doesn't come from, oh, I need that. It's not a thought. It's a, that's the right thing for me. That's what I'm looking for. That comes from here. That doesn't come from seeing something. So it's,
They buy on emotion, they justify with logic.
yeah. So my experience of your painting, from you describing the meaning of it, which might have to be online a little bit. And then you could even ask people really great questions like, you know, have you, as far as what have they experienced, or where have they wanted to bring something home with them, or where have they wanted to, you know, take something that was special and make it come to life. And that's really what you did, is you took a special experience that you loved and, you know, meant something to you. It's like a tattoo, right? Or like a song. Like, you know, some people write a song because of a life's experience. You're talking about life experience on canvas.
Yeah, could I add something? Become an artist as well. And Tanya, because when you build an art, a piece of artwork, you actually associate more than just the painting itself. You actually, you know, gather all the information. Actually, there is a very big picture, broad pictures of how you start the painting. I'm talking about myself, become an artist. And when you do that, you see, you associate the background and you associate the meaning and all that at the time. I think maybe capture that, because when you present your artwork, get that, because it's already come with your designing, your creativity during that time. I think what Dina was talking, associate that, because you don't have to use a lot of mind, because when you collect that painting, it's actually associated bigger than just the painting. Yeah. And you agree with that, Tanya? You actually, you know, captured all the information, you paint the scene, and, you know, it's a very broad picture. I think what Dina's saying is associate that in there. So it doesn't need afterward to do it. You actually do that in the process. And second thing, I have an idea is that maybe because not many people, artists, like they bring in a painting and where to hang around and, you know, around the house. But while you're designing it, I think maybe you can create that background, like where you think that painting could go, the possible scenario, because while you're doing that, you already, you see, you captured a lot of those information and you have some very good idea where could this go and how it show up. So I think do all that, because that is part of your process of thinking already. And yeah, do that. And I think the last thing I feel like you say, want someone to representing to speak about your artwork. I think maybe don't do that, because in a long term, you know the best for your artwork, and you need to be the one who is the brand of your artwork, because no one can share any of your artwork more than you do. So you have to be the brand of your artwork and willing to stand up for that.
You're right. You're
Kim,
right.
that was brilliant.
I'm an
Because
artist, so I
I think,
understand. Yeah.
I think too, if I would say the reason why you feel that you can't describe it, you're going to have to be vulnerable. You can describe it, but it's going to be emotional. People don't paint out of their head. That is like, that's when you're exposing it, call it God, whatever anybody believes in, a God-given gift, that's personal. And that's why it's so hard to put up,
Yeah.
because it stands to be rejected, and it will be. But that's just because somebody doesn't understand. It doesn't mean, or the ones that really give you hate mail, believe it or not, are the ones that you're representing what they wish they would do. And so they criticize it because when they see you, they're not doing what they love. And so they will write you letters, I promise you. And they will be really mean. They've done it to me. It crushed my soul because I didn't know that would happen. But then I realized, because she wants to do what I'm doing. I'm representing her dream and she's not doing it yet. So she's mad at herself, you know? So you're going to have to be really vulnerable. And I agree with Kim 100%. Like, you're the one who wrote the song. You're the only one that can describe it. Nobody else can do that for you. Like, we're all describing what it means to us or what we're learning about it.
Yeah.
But
Hey,
you know,
Dina, do you mind talking to Kim and telling her the idea to see if there's a good fit? Like maybe it's a fit for her too, as she's an artist. Kim, what kind of
well,
art
you're
do you
the
do?
idea guy. You're the creator.
Kim, what kind of art do you do?
I'm good at sculpture by nature. I'm just good at it. I don't know why I'm good at it, but I'm just good at it. But you know, being a graphic artist, I do have painting, watercolor, and all that. But sculpture is just something I'm naturally good at it. Like, yeah.
Gotcha. So the idea was, so Tanya had this painting of hers behind her in her background, right? You can see it.
Yeah.
And the idea was do prints of a painting and do a free plus shipping offer on the prints. Like, hey, you know, talk about it, the background, like the things that you're describing, like this is, you know, describe the painting and say, and I'd love to give it to you for free. I'm just asking that you know, pay for the shipping. And then they can, and then Eric came up with this, that you can upsell to a bigger size. You know, if they want to pay more, they can get a bigger size of the free print. And then after they've went through those two things, then you give them the opportunity to buy the original. And then once they buy the original, the whole thing goes away and nobody can buy more prints. So the prints are numbered and autographed. And then once the original is sold, boom, it's over. And you go to a new piece, was the idea. And then taking those people from that journey into her synchronicity. So then from there, make the money there, then go into the passion, which is her coaching. So that was the idea. So I don't know if it has relevant, if it's something you like or not, but as an artist, start with art, liquidate the art, and then go into the coaching stuff. I don't know. Any thoughts on that? And if it's not for you, don't worry about it. I just thought I'd tell you the idea because I thought it was a good idea.
I was thinking of more like when she capturing her painting, like she have a story behind that painting. Because if I paint something like this, I actually have a very broad view, like why I, end up with this painting. So Tanya actually, see if I, if you look into it, you would know it. Yeah, Tanya. Like when you collect that picture, you actually have a scenery, what it look like, where it's come from, where the idea come from, and also what is associated with, because there's a theme behind that for yourself. I mean, capture those themes. Why you creating it? Because after the painting got it done, sometimes you forgot the theme because you thought it's only your theme, but bring that into that, because you when you bring that into that, I was thinking of like, when you do the layout or the video and you actually show that as associated with that theme is the story behind that. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, for a couple
Yeah.
of them, I can invent stories, but I have so many really.
It's not invent, it's not, because when you create that painting, that story is actually have the story first. The painting is actually out of that story, out of whatever that you associate with. So I mean, like usually we forgot that story why we do that painting, because we thought it's like a personal thing. But I think when Dina and all that old painting is like they wanted to have emotional attach, that is natural way of why that end up with that painting. So capture that along the way, rather than, because sometimes at the end you finish the painting, you forgot all that. But people just look at the painting, they don't associate like we do when we gather that story. So capture that and keep a note of it, and also the writing and all that is along the way, all the wording and all that, all the emotional part of it, you captured at the time, so not forgot it. Yeah. So I wasn't thinking about that, and I think another thing is because you see we put a lot of word in painting, and we designing and we creative and a lot of mind bubbling and all that, but you also have a understanding like where you want to put it. You have some idea, because as an artist, we do like, okay, where it could go around the room. So there's a lot of thinking along the way already. If you could present that, I think for someone who's not an artist, but you enroll them into that, because you're selling them where that painting could go. I just thinking like you have a bigger package rather than just focus like selling a painting. And for someone who's not artist, firstly, there's no, they don't have the same broad view as you do. And also they don't have the thinking, like sit there where it's going and all that. So if you can present that as well, so people not painting, they can instantly got it, like the end result, where could it hand to and all that. And I think that is quite easy for you. Why you do your creative thinking is all part of the process.
Yeah.
Yeah, so capture all that.
Thank you. Yeah, have to learn for sure. Thank you.
Yeah, so it become very broad, and the story and all that is there, like
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to think afterward, try to make a story out of the painting, because there is come with the story. Yeah.
Got it. Thank you, Kim. Thank you.
Ron here had a thought. Your interest is synchronicity.
Yes.
And you have paintings that you can put up for sale. Maybe tie the two together in a way that bring the synchronicity into the thinking about the paintings.
Not sure what do you mean?
So like I have a tie-in that there's something in the painting that you can talk about synchronicity along with it.
Oh, yeah.
And there's a hook to get people who are both like your paintings and also like your synchronicity thinking.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Okay.
What I was going to say was when I get the stuff from John over the years, what he gives me a provenance, which is the sketch that he is like his drawing board that he then made the picture. So I was going to ask you, do you have any kind of any, or do you just take the paints and paint sort of thing?
Just take the paint and start
Uh-huh.
painting. No sketches, nothing. Like just.
All right. Well, the other thing you could do is maybe you could do the sketch afterwards then, right? And say this is how it started, and then you got something else you can sell with it as well, because you're selling the print or the painting, and you're selling the how it came along. And I mean, like some of the paintings I get from him they're called diptychs, so it's like two pictures that go together, and then the provenance he gives me is like a fold over paper. It's drawn on two sides, and when you pull the paper out, you can see the painting, so you can see the original sketch where it came from, and then you've got something else to sell as well. I didn't know whether that's some of the synchronization that you're seeking sort of thing or not.
Yeah, I gotta be creative about that also. Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Paul. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that gives me idea for sure. Yeah, thank you.
If you allow me, hi, I can share something. I'm a designer and an artist as well. And for almost 30 years, I sold tangible products. I sold jewelry that I created. And I always, in the back of my mind, I always had this, what my father was saying, that it's only beautiful when someone is buying. Because for us, every piece is beautiful, but for other people, the way they appreciate it is by them actually wanting to have it, have the possession of it.
Yes,
No,
but I gotta show them, Rami. I am not showing them.
yeah. It's like you're an author only when someone is reading your book, right? Or you're a songwriter only when someone is hearing the song. Other than that, it's only for yourself. And what do I mean is a lot of times I was, I had something in mind, but I couldn't sell it until I started to think of what this should mean for them. What do they want it to mean for them? Right. So I try to look at the piece and in thinking of what do they want. And it not necessarily was what I wanted them to think, it's what do they want, like what do they aspire for and to. And I always wrote stories around my pieces. And what I found out that sometimes I had to write different stories to different audience where I showed up with my pieces. Now first I thought that it's not authentic, but it's not true because everyone sees something different in the same picture, in the same piece of art. And so I just sold them what they want. I just wrote the stories around what I thought, or I found out that they want. Now, this is one. The second thing I wanted to share is that English is my third language, and my English became better, but it wasn't so good. And I keep remember how everyone was saying you should give it to an editor, you should give it to a spelling check, and I just wrote whatever I wanted and I just put it there. And surprisingly was that many of the people who paid good money were the people who found time, took the time to catch base with me and correct me. Because what I wrote was matter to them, and they felt that they need to, Rami, you should write it this way. This is you should correct your spelling, or it's grammar. You should correct your grammar, and they actually were rewriting everything and sending it to me. They were the one who paid the most for the pieces. it just opened a conversation where we can go further and deeper on the pieces. And so I didn't let it to be stand in my way, you know. I just found that it's a way to catch people. I mean, I didn't do it on purpose, but it's actually increased myself.
I love that very much with the language, because I'm going to say this is not excuse, but yeah, English, and I don't know which number of language, but this is my language to express myself, painting. So
Yeah, and I still do it.
Open with that.
I still do it to this day. I get better and better. That's true, but I still do it until this day. I just put out there what my emotions, my thoughts, in the way I think I should write it.
I just gotta put them out there for sure. Yeah.
And the third one I wanted to say before Dina said something about Hawaii, when you just ran this question, what do you see in the picture? I immediately that came like this is what you too can bring Garden of Eden to your house, to your life too. Because you have those two people bringing the picture, right? So they're bringing it. It's kind of delivery.
So true. And when exactly I was there in Garden of Eden on the Patahana, like, yeah, you want to stay there, like you want to stay there, and yeah, that's fantastic way. Okay, about paintings from Hawaii, I have material. I now gotta think about the others, but yeah, I will, because I love that.
And what about from a lifestyle standpoint? Would it be okay if someday you traveled the world to be inspired to create new art for your little sales funnel?
What do you mean exactly?
Well, just find more Hawaiis and go there and get inspired and do more art. And it's all like you have a predictable path of just freedom. I don't know. That's what I visualize. If this works, you could just keep doing it and go into inspiring places and be inspired and create stuff like that.
I love traveling, Lenny. I love that.
Yeah.
And yeah, to be inspired, not that I need to be inspired, but yeah, that's good idea also. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone.
Follow the synchronicity.
That's right. That's right. I will. I am doing it. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, about I say stand for your art. It's actually from Richard Branson, I think. He's the one who stand for his brand. Like I read him somewhere, like he have to, that is a cheaper way, and the way he can present his brand, like what he want to create. So I think you have to be in front of everything. You can't hide behind your art.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you have to be the one who.
That's fantastic point for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because Virgin, you can imagine if someone representing Virgin, like not Richard Branson, then it would be completely different look to it. So you have to be the one who presents your art, and the loudest one to speak.
Authenticity and vulnerability, we for sure. Yes, yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Cool.
Lanny, go. Lanny, your turn.
Oh, it's not my turn. Kim, why don't we, what would you like to talk about? Because you're the most natural kind of lead into the next. So, and then I'm listening and I'm hearing, so I'm not going to be right here, but I'm totally listening. So what do you think, Kim?
I have to step away for a second, Lenny.
Okay, then I'll stay.
Yeah, you gotta stay.
I thought you were going to stay, so go ahead.
No, this is your class. I'm
Yeah,
just
no problem.
participating.
All right, so Kim, any thoughts on any of this, or does any of it inspire you at all, or anything really? Just, or what do you want to talk about something else?
Yeah, I pretty much feel like Tanya when she I also don't want to stand up for coaching. I feel I like to stand at the background. Doesn't want to stand in front, but then yeah, from her conversation, because in artists and I got to see, I have to stand for it and I have to make it like make it bigger, and it's bigger, but it have to be shown through in the world. I don't know what it look like yet. Lenny, I just think like it have to be like a brand or something that I'm representing, and that's something I'm willing to stand for. And it have to be noticeable. That's what I see. And but what I want, Lenny, this is what I think. I have a lot of terminology. I actually couldn't get it, like come to social media, because mainly by the time I'm with Brian and all that, I just have enough understanding and time to do Brian's course. And then your one, you have so many video, and Brenda, I wasn't watch a lot of it. So I was thinking of captured all that, because I want to like quickly capture all that, watch it a whole day and night or whatever. And I finished all that, so I got the terminology and the understanding behind what are we doing. So from there, whatever you guide me, I also need to be able to capture it very quickly and able to follow where you're going. Otherwise, everything, your idea you present to me, I just got that idea and that's it. Like it sort of like doesn't link to a lot. I don't have a very big imagination and the thought behind it. So that's why I was thinking is like, watch all that and go through it, because it's not that, it's a lot of work, but at the same token, I think I could follow them now. Yeah.
Okay.
Before I
So
couldn't
you
follow them.
so you already did that? You went through a bunch of trainings to learn the terminology? You did that?
Yeah.
Oh
I
wow.
started learning it, and I just thinking, spend a weekend just doing all the Brenda Thai and your one and Dina's one, and setting up, like the first few video and all that. I've been watching around 3-4 times now.
You know, it's really
just
funny, Kim, you're gonna laugh, and I think Tanya and Paul can back me up, that exact topic came up on the 1 o'clock session, which by the way never stopped. We're still on the 1 o'clock session. We're just rolling right into 3. Eric brought up that he did that, and then it was suggested to Tanya that she do that. So Tanya, look at this, is perfect. This was synchronicity right here, right? This
on the
was
right,
all
on the right place. See,
we talked about that.
Without
before,
you, this couldn't happen, Len.
We talked about that before it just was confirmed just now. So there you go. So first of all, I love that you did that, Kim. That's really, really impressive. The other thing too is, one of the things that the Saturday work sessions are for is to take whatever the ideas are and actually do them, and then there's some tools that we have to actually do stuff. And I'm happy to help you do stuff and even do stuff for you in the process of, hey, here's how you do it. And I just do it and show you, right? And then you can make modifications and play, and, so that's what the Saturday sessions are for. So it'd be cool if you have some ideas that you want to bring to the next one, maybe work it out with us in these sessions for the next, few weeks. For the next Saturday, we can roll and do some stuff,
Yeah. I think by that time I just have more broader view, because at the moment it's quite limited in terms of the you showed me the click funnel, I got it, but then it doesn't link to anything. So I do so
yeah,
I
that's
think
all right.
by the next Saturday would be great. Yeah.
Okay. And then I got a ClickFunnels account for you guys to play with, and then I can also link it to our Infusionsoft account and create a little email follow-up sequence for you, so it's all connected and it all works, and you don't have to go buy a system if you don't want to. Anyway, is there anything else you wanted to talk about or anything you want to go over?
You mean me? No,
Yeah.
I think I just want to spend time doing that first.
Okay.
So yeah.
I think that's a great next step.
Yep.
I love it. All right. Ron, do you want to go next? Ron?
Okay, unmute here. Yeah, I don't really have anything further to talk about. Because I'm still in the
No
place
worries.
where I need to work on habits and get myself more in the swing of getting more done. Just as a synchronistic side note, Kim and I had also talked about the idea of going back into Brian Tracy inner circle programs. That was,
Mhm.
we're all on the same page.
Okay. Yeah, that's really cool. And then anything inspire you, or is there anything that was interesting or inspiring to you just listening in on some of the stuff, you know, with Tanya and all that? all the-
Yeah, it's all,
work?
it's all, you know, gets the neurons firing.
If you get a chance, listen to the beginning of this, because we've been on for 3 hours and 6 minutes. It started at 1 o'clock
Mhm.
my time, and we have not stopped. It's gone nonstop since 1 o'clock. So there's a lot of stuff that happened in the first session that just you guys came in on it was going right. And
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see what happened before that. It's almost like there's a movie was 3 hours long and you missed the first 2.
yeah, yeah. What I was thinking after I came in and saw, you know, got involved with Tanya's stuff and everything is, on days when I'm able to, I would like to just start at the 1 o'clock and go through to the, you
Yeah,
know,
you're more than
do
welcome
both
to.
stations.
Paul's here, and you know he asked the same question. Can I go to both? You guys are always welcome to
Yeah.
go to both. You're there's, you know,
Rather
just
than
say-
go back and
yeah, no, you're always welcome. No
rather
question.
than go back and
The
listen
only
to a recording.
the only thing
is-
that, the only thing that would be bad, or not bad, the only thing that would kind of suck is if somebody showed up at 1 o'clock and took like 45 minutes, then they showed up at 3 o'clock and took another hour. That would suck. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
Yeah.
so like when Tanya does it, like she'll be like, okay, I'm here, you know, and we do her thing, and then she becomes a listener on the next one and just, you know, absorbs it all. So anyway,
yeah,
but yeah,
Maybe everybody
absolutely.
should get a certain amount of time, Lenny. Like I am in this small group, there's 9 of us and we each get 5 to 10 minutes. That way
Mm.
everybody gets a turn and then you can circle back around too. So it's like everybody come with their like most pressing thing. Although sometimes a process is always good. Or if it's gonna be good, maybe you could bring it up on the next one saying, okay, we're gonna process that out, you know?
Mm, okay.
Are you gonna,
the-
can you, I gotta go, but can you spend 10 minutes really quick? I have some things that have taken way too long and I need to get them done. Can you, do you have 10 minutes after, like, take a
Yeah,
small
after
break
this?
after?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no problem.
Yeah,
And
I-
I saw your thing about connection, and yeah, I'll connect you to Allison. So I'll
Is her
send
name
an email.
Allison?
Yeah,
Sorry, you guys, I just been trying to
That's
get a hold
right.
of Lenny and one thing has taken 3.5 months and I need one thing.
and I'll
So
just forward
I'm
her.
dying to finish.
Actually, you can go into the Brandeis email and search for her, but I'll do it. I'll send you an email.
I didn't know it was Allison. Okay, well, just give
Yeah.
me 10 minutes at some point. What time are you going to Lisa's?
I was gonna go after this.
Okay, well, give me 10 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks,
I'll
you
do that.
guys. Sorry
Alan.
to interrupt it with personal stuff that I really, I can't stand not finishing. And there's like 2 things that have taken months. And I'm
Right.
like, I need one more question and I'm done. So please. I
Tina,
won't be
I
able to-
just slacked you her email address.
Okay, thanks, you guys. It was Paul, Tanya.
Thank
Thanks,
you,
Tina. Thanks for your
Ron.
contribution.
How do you say Barquette? How do you?
It's
what's your-
Naomi and Rami.
Rami. Okay.
Bareket.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Talk to you in a few, Lanny. Take a minute, then call me. Don't call me right away, but call me right away.
Okay.
Like take a second first, would you? Thanks.
Yes. Got
Bye.
it.
Appreciate it, Lanny. You're a
Okay.
genius. You're a genius. I'm your biggest fan.
Keith.
Biggest fan.
Oh, thanks, Tina.
I am.
We're so lucky.
Oh gosh. Well, I know what Rami and Naomi want to talk about. My intuition, I don't need any intuition whatsoever. So Rami, when I looked in Google, I saw that the traffic, the per click was pretty good, but there's only $5 in clicks, right? 3 clicks. So there's 2 things, and I shared it with you in the chat. One is the CTR, the click-through rate, is 0.67%. That's low. And when the CTR is that low, then you know it's a copy problem. So there's something, the keyword in the copy, there's something that's not working. So those keywords might still work, but I would rework that copy maybe to match those audiences better. And then those audiences that you said, those keywords that you said in the chat, I'll read them so everybody can hear what they are. And then just for background for Paul, and anybody else. So Naomi and Rami are running a boot camp. He was running his traffic the same way he ran it last time. Last time he spent $2,500 in ad spend and turned it into $18,000 in revenue, if I'm not mistaken. And he was doing the same thing this time, but then had a big hiccup. And now he's in scramble mode trying to get more registrants. Instead of having, I think he had 150 last time, he had 52 or 53-ish the last time he checked. So I'm not sure if that number has changed much. And then I also looked in your Facebook ad account, Rami, and noticed that your traffic's still super expensive. And I also noticed that you aren't, the idea I thought, and I'm not sure, maybe test it with one thing. If you change that conversion goal to the lead, I know that I'm speaking Greek to everybody and I'm so sorry, but I need to give Rami really direct feedback on what he's working on. So if you change that conversion goal to a lead from that purchase, I don't think it'll have to go through the learning process again. I was thinking about it because a lot of times when you make small changes like that, it doesn't go through the approval process. It does, but it takes like 15, 20 minutes. So I thought maybe test it with one of the four and see if that works. Any thoughts on any of that?
So what you're saying is to change the conversion from the thank you page to the sign up page, or
from the page past the sign up.
Yeah.
So after they register for the,
and still run it on conversion or traffic? No, traffic you can, but
still in conversion, because
Still
but you're
conversion.
just changing the conversion to a lead from that $50 purchase or whatever that purchase is.
I'll do that.
Okay. And then on the Google AdWords side, I'd rework the copy on that. And then I like your keyword ideas. Can I show you how to find more keywords?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me get into AdWords. And hold on, I think I'm in your account. Yeah, I am. Okay, so let me share my screen. And then give me one of your keywords that you had mentioned as good ideas. So you go to tools and settings right here. And once you hit tools and settings, you go into keyword planner. And then you want to go to discover new keywords, but you can also get search volume and forecast, but we're trying to discover keywords right now. And then what was one of your keywords that you thought of?
Purpose, mission, passion, career change, online coaching.
I guess spelling it right would be good if we're doing keywords. So let's go career change. What was it? What was another one?
Online coaching.
Online coaching. How about coaching certification?
Yeah.
People who are looking for coaching certification would probably be perfect. What else?
So we had wrote like mission driven, can write mission driven business or purpose. Find your purpose. Breakthrough, transformation.
Transformation.
Also can be how to, how to make, how to captivate with videos, how to make engaging videos.
Make engaging videos. What? How to go viral. How to make viral videos. Okay, let's push those in and see what the results are. So this is a keyword tool, and then what we're looking at is different.
Maybe how to attract more clients can be,
So the big one in these words obviously is transformation, because that's a pretty general word. It's getting a lot of searches, 100,000 or 10,000 to 100,000. All these other ones are really small. Bumblebee, that doesn't mean anything. Last night. NLP practitioner, that would be a good one. See, there's just some garbage in here. Not much traffic. Translation and geometry, that isn't. Becoming a life coach, that'd be a good one. This sounds like math, transformation function. New career at 50. Oh, how to find a new career.
Good.
Anyway, transformation in math. Yeah, that's no good.
So new career at 50 at how much?
And then new career at 50 is just a 1,000 to 10,000 a month. But look at the bidding price on that is really cheap. So that's cheap traffic. Now, math, some of these are, when you look at these, like some of these aren't good because I can tell that you've stumbled on stuff that has nothing to do with you. And what I'm talking about is x-axis reflection. There's a bunch of math stuff in here. And it's that transformation keyword because there's some math thing that has to do with transformation. So we can go a negative keyword. You don't have any negative keywords. And we can go negative keyword math, right? And hit save. All right. Oh shoot, did I lose them? Sure did. No, they're still there. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, you're not getting enough traffic. And a lot of these are low searches, 100 to 1,000 a day. A lot of these are also irrelevant. But I just wanted to, but there are 2,800 of them, you know what I mean? So there's a ton of keywords in here. Let's sort by average monthly searches here. So the ones that have a lot of searches are, again, those math type ones. Certified life coaching is a good one. Look at that. But it's expensive, but who cares? Translation and geometry. No, these are all bad. Let's get rid of this. Wonder if I can get rid of them. Add as negative keywords. Broad match. Okay, so we just added those as negative keywords so that they don't come up and you don't pay for that kind of stuff. So the process, Rami, is just go find more words and then write copy to those words, I think, if you want to get more search traffic. The good thing in what you did is there wasn't much of it. Hang on a second, let's go. Yeah, let me get back on this. Here's your results so far, 710 impressions, 3 clicks. Now what's impressive about that is your impressions. That's really cheap on impressions. You had 0.7. It's 5 divided by 0.9. $7.14 per 1,000 impressions. Is that right? No, it's actually cheaper than that. What am I doing? Yeah, no, that's about right. Yeah. But $7.14. So your cost per 1,000 impressions is $7.14. Right now on Facebook, your CPMs were like 30, 40, 50 bucks per 1,000 impressions, I think, if I remember correctly. It was really expensive. And then your $1.67 clicks seems cheaper. Let's look at your Facebook ad account. Here. Not spent. I just want to look at the last 24 hours. Let's look at today. See, today you spent $103. How many leads have you gotten today, total?
So last time we had 57, now we have 67, so 10.
Okay, that's good. That was $10 per lead. What were you running at last time you ran this campaign? How much money per lead?
I don't know if all 10 came from Facebook. I don't know to differentiate between.
They did. Well, let's assume they did because you only got 3 clicks from Google, right? Maybe one of them registered. Maybe all 3 of them did, but I mean, that would be good to know. But your
Well,
analytics, you said your analytics isn't working, right? Still?
I don't know. I send you the pictures. It's connected.
Oh, you know what? When I did it, it gave me an error. That's right. I was trying to connect it. It's funny, we go from like polar opposite conversations. We're talking about artists and art, and then we go right into numbers, keywords, process. All right, this is you. Google, see, I went to Google Ads linking right here. Oh, it's linked. Okay, cool. It
Yeah,
wasn't linked before.
It is, but there is no data. I mean, it's.
Google AdWords, and then this.
So it's,
Oh, it's working. 1 user in the last minute. It's working. It wasn't working before. It is now. That's cool. See it?
yeah.
We got a
So-
user. There were no users before. So then once you know these things, let's go into yeah, there's no data in here, obviously.
Yeah, that's what I said. There's nothing there. It's linked, but there's nothing there.
Oh, let's go today. Today, apply. So you had 3 new users today, according to this. Which seems low considering you are running traffic right now from Facebook and you had 10 opt-ins. Let me look at something. On your page, sevenvidmagnet.com, 7vid. Okay, this is the page, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at the developer. So you can see if the code's in there by going on Google Chrome, you go view and you go developer and then view source. The source will show you the source code, which will look super confusing, but it's pretty easy to find certain things. So what I want to look at is Google Tag Manager in there. And the answer is, yeah, it's right there. See Google Tag Manager. And then your Facebook, oh, your Google Tag Manager is in there twice. Maybe that, your pixel code, your Facebook pixel. Unless, it's weird. Why is it in there twice?
So because there is one of the website and probably one on the pages.
Did you put these on the page itself, the Facebook pixel and the Google Tag Manager?
Yeah, so I first put it on the page and then I saw your message and I went and I put it on the website.
Okay. And then did Groove Pages have a function where you could just put it in once and it populates on all the pages?
So you put it on the website, yeah.
Okay, because that's probably why it's doubled up. You can probably take it off the page so it's not on there twice.
Okay.
And then everything else, whew, everything else looks fine. Okay. Today's Friday. And you're not looking at it tomorrow, right?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, you will look at it on Saturday? I thought you guys stayed away from Saturday stuff.
I don't work on Saturdays, but this
Right.
is something that runs, so I will.
Okay. So why don't we do this for now? Why don't you, if you want, try the new conversion thing and try some new keywords on Google and then just ping me tonight and I'll look at it before I go to bed to see if I see anything.
So if you can you show me where should I change the copy so I won't?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. So you go into AdWords, right?
Yeah.
I would create a new campaign. Or you could just change the keywords to the existing campaign, but
Well, I don't want to mess up.
yeah, it's
to
real
think-
simple though.
You have two things you don't know about me yet. I do those things, but I have an artist mind. So it's kind of, I see Chinese right now.
Okay,
And the second thing is that I'm dyslexic. So some things
I knew
go
that.
hard,
Yep.
for me.
So what you want to do on the copy then is do it on a Google Doc. So all your spelling stuff that happens from the dyslexia, you can just right click and do the spell check on those. So do it on a Google Doc first and then bring it in. I would do that.
All right. So where should I bring it in?
So then go into your AdWords campaign and then hit new campaign right here. And then when you go new campaign, you want to get leads. Why don't we just say website traffic? And then why don't we go here. And then here, whoop. Continue. Whoops. Oh, I screwed that up.
131.
Yep, I knew I screwed that up. All right, continue. We'll leave it on that. And then just to widen it out, let's just do all countries and territories, English speaking. And then budget, you can just put like, let's just put $100 in there and see what happens. Bidding
So on Google Ads, do you go by age as well?
Say it again.
Can you narrow the age?
Yes. Hang on, where is it? There's audiences. Hang on.
Yeah.
Audiences. And then browse. Hang on, parental status, marital status, education. Okay, that doesn't fit. You could probably do parents, and you know that they're not going to be, they're going to be older, right? So that's one way to do it. You can also add in marital status of married would probably make it, they're a little bit older. Education, highest level, bachelor's and master's would actually give you a higher quality lead. And then home ownership status, homeowners would be better than renters, right? And then employment, company size and industry, let's leave that alone. And then save and continue. And then this is where you can get your keywords that we just saw. No keywords found. Oh, that's for this website. Okay. You can go in here. So you can paste the keywords in here. You can type them in. I don't really type them in. I like to paste them in. So I could take like the keyword research that I just did. You could go grab it, export it into a spreadsheet. There's 2,800 of them. So I would maybe look at it, like sort it by search volume, and then make sure to delete the ones that are irrelevant. And you don't have to use all 2,800. Maybe you just use a couple hundred or something like that. So that would be Let me hit save and continue right here. We won't put any so once you get to here, here's all your headlines. So you can have up to 15 different headlines and up to 4 different descriptions. And the description is, the headline is obviously the big type, and the description is all the little type that's in the search ad. So let me just search real quick on Google and I'll show you what the ads look like. I'll put law of attraction. Oh, that's weird. There's no ads. I don't know why that's true. Maybe use law of attraction as one of your keywords, because that seems weird to me that there's no ads. How to be successful. Result 0. That's weird. There are no ads on this either. Huh. Yeah, I'm not sure why that is. So does that, is there any gaps? Do you see what, and then right here, you can see campaign, set up your ad groups. Ad groups is basically, you know, kind of who you're targeting, and then creating the ads is just a copy. I think it's much easier to do ads here than it is in Facebook, you know, because you're just doing a headline and a description. That's it. And then when you do these, you can, they'll give you some recommendations over here as you're doing it of how to make it better. Does that give you some stuff to go on, Rami?
Yeah.
And then feel free to reach out later. I'm gonna go watch the game at my sister's house. I'll be back here at probably 11 o'clock Pacific time, and I don't mind jumping on with you for 15 or 20 minutes to see where things are at and to make some adjustments.
All right, great. Thank you.
No problem. All right.
Lenny,
And-
is all the is
Go
that all
ahead.
the video will be up there? When this video gonna post up there?
This one, I'll go ahead and upload this one right now. When we're done, it'll process.
Okay.
This one's 3 hours and 33 minutes long currently, plus whatever else. So it's going to take a while probably to export. Once it's exported, for speed, I'm going to take this one and I'll upload it to YouTube. As soon as I start the upload process to YouTube, it'll give me a link, and then I'll just put the link in Slack so you have a direct link to this video without going into the membership site or anything. Would that be cool?
Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, I'll make it really easy and fast. Now, keep in mind, this is 3 hour video. So once I put that link in Slack, it's going to still be processing. It'll probably be processing for probably a half hour. So if you click on the link and it goes to nothing, it's only because it's still processing, you know?
Okay, how when you think be done? Is that 1, 2, 3, or by tonight or something?
Oh, it'll be done. Yeah. Like I said, as soon as we're off, it's going to process in Zoom first. Before I leave for my sisters, I'm going to upload it into YouTube so it can be uploading after I left. I'll do everything that I need to do and I can leave and it'll just run and
I see.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so in 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Probably,
or
yeah.
something like
Yeah. Probably faster than that. It'll probably be faster. It won't be more than an hour, I don't think.
Oh, I see. Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hi, Uma.
And the other videos, just quick question, are in the membership site, Lenny? I haven't watched.
They are. They're in there, but they're terribly labeled, so I apologize for that, but they are in there.
It's okay. Just the date, maybe.
I wish there were dates. There's dates on one of them. I just wanted to, like, Kim asked for them, and I threw them all up there because I didn't have any time. I was short on time. So I just got them up there, but I didn't bother to go, okay, when was this one? What date? So I didn't do any of that. They're all in there though. So I'm sorry about that. What I should have done is rename the files And then if I had to rename the files, when I put it up, I'd have known which dates they were. So I didn't do that. Normally I do.
But Zoom generates the dates. You can see from
They
the-
do. Yeah, they do.
Uh,
They put the time on the file. I don't think it has the date.
No, for sure there is. I have some. Yeah. He puts-
Penny,
Yeah.
I just went to Google Ads account,
Hmm.
and here it says 46 clicks, 6.5K impressions, $2.67 average cost per click.
Oh, good.
So what is missing? Like this different information than on
Where
my-
you look here, let me make you host and you can share the screen because I don't know what I don't see what you're talking about.
So I don't know if we need to run a new one.
Hang on a second. There you are. Okay, go ahead and share your screen. Oh, nice. Yeah, I mean, it sucks that we don't have the data on, hit the, see where it says average EPC? When you hit the down arrow, what does it do? Right on the, right to the right, there's a down arrow. Yeah, that one. And then,
Says it's learning, under learning.
yeah, it's in learning phase. And it says right there, it may take a few days to see results. But you're getting traffic, which is good.
Yeah.
And I bet this traffic is better than the Facebook traffic. I mean, I can't imagine that wouldn't be.
So we hereby, so I don't know if, do we?
Oh,
need
here's
to-
your clicks. Okay, cool. How to
Do
have
we-
self-confidence is your biggest one.
Do we need to, I don't see if we, if we now should,
And then look at your click-through rate on that. Your click-through rate on that keyword's 1.23%. It's higher. How to have confidence. And then how to have confidence back is even higher. And then go ahead and click on the down. Let's see the rest of these. See the little down arrow under keywords? Yeah, that. Holy crap, 5 point, look at that, look at that. That's amazing. Okay, we found some winners. Yay. Okay, the copy isn't as terrible as I thought. That's good. These 4 and 5% click-through rates are amazing. Now here's what's great about that too, Rami, knowing this, that you're seeing really high click-through rates on that, at some point in the future, not today and not this weekend because it's all last minute, but you can look at these keywords and go, I know that these are good keywords. I get really high click-through rate. Why don't I have my video speak to those keywords? So just add in and then make sure these keywords of self-confidence are on the page. I think they are, but.
yeah, they are, and we talk about it in the video as well. So I did use, I did do this research prior to, I use askthepublic.com and I did, on Facebook book, on Amazon books and YouTube videos and blogs. So I had the keywords.
Good, because the page gets a quality score, and the quality score is based on the, it's based on a lot of things. It's based on how long do people stay on the page. They're measuring how long do they stay. They're looking at the keywords and saying, are the keywords that you're buying relative to the keywords on the page? So yeah, it's good that it's all, and then maybe look through your page and see if you can find some keyword ideas on your page. NLP breakthrough exercises would be a good keyword right there on that subhead.
Right. So now that you know that, should we go back and to the new ad set?
It's up to you. You're getting traction, which is good. Rami, it's up to you because you're in this situation, right? It's not me. You are trying to get a bunch of opt-ins before Monday. My thing, if I were in your position, I'd ask myself, what am I going to bet my money on? Is it AdWords or is it Facebook? Not that you have to choose one or the other.
That's exactly what went through my mind, because
Yeah.
my budget was still, I mean, no, I don't want to go over what I can. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I can come here and create new one with with the NLP and breakthrough and those things in and few
Yeah.
headline, and then I will cut from Facebook.
Yeah. Yeah. I think if I was going to guess, I just don't see Facebook working that well. So my guess would be, hang on a second. Let me look at the columns real quick. We can look at clicks. Link clicks. Okay, here we go. You ready? Your cost per click on Facebook right now is $5.87. That's today. Your cost on Google is $2 and so $2.67. So your clicks are half price on Google. If I ever choose between Google traffic and Facebook traffic as far as quality goes, it's Google on every day that ends in Y.
Yeah, I think one of the things that we're taking consideration that I really narrow down the audience on Facebook.
Yeah, you have one campaign on Facebook that you spent $35 today. No, it's $35 a click. You got one click in that entire campaign, the Boot Camp June 2021 image campaign. I would kill that one. Wait, let me go last few days, not just today. Hang on a second. Let's go last 7 days. Yeah, the June 2021 image campaign is at $8.32 a click. That's bananas. I would definitely cut that one.
So it has few ads.
I'm on Facebook. I'm on Facebook, not here. Let me share my screen.
So
Here, let me reclaim host. Let me share my screen because I'm on it right now. All right. So here's your Facebook numbers right here. Your cost per click is right. This is the last 7 days.
yeah, but go into campaign, because there was more ad sets that I shut down. So the numbers are different.
Oh, I say, you're saying these are all crap though. Look at you. The ones that are active are $10 and $11 per click. That's no good. You see what I mean? You want me to just, I don't know. I don't know. It seems really high to me. And then let's look at this one. This one's really expensive. Ad sets. Yeah, look at this. This is insanity. Way too expensive, Rami. This is not good. Yeah. If it's me, I'm switching gears to Google. If it was me. It's your decision, but I would actually stop.
So switching
Facebook.
is moving the budget.
I would move all your budget to Google right now. And the good news is you'll get traffic faster, and I'm almost certain it'll be better traffic than this.
All right.
It's just bananas. This is way too expensive. You're going to get twice the traffic on Google, and it's better traffic for the same amount of money.
All right, I do that now.
Yeah, I would. Those traffic costs are it's just oof. It's no bueno.
I know.
If you were selling financial services and you're closing $8 billion clients, then we're good. I'm being sarcastic, but if you had a business that had really, really high values, for example, I have a guy that I know who's paying $500 per click sometimes, and he's profitable. $500 per click, but he's buying houses and he's buying wholesale houses. So his average profit on a deal, on one deal, is, it could be as much as 50 or 100 grand. So $500 a click, well, it's part of the deal. All right, so you're good. You got your marching orders, or got what you're gonna do? All right, let's go to Uma. Hey, Uma. How you been? Any
Good,
updates?
good. How about you, Lenny?
We're 3 hours and 46 minutes into this thing. I'm starting to run out of gas, but I got
Yeah,
I got
I
enough
feel
gas
that.
for one more, and that's you.
Yeah, but I don't know how much time it takes for that CRM system that we discussed yesterday. Here,
let
but
me show you a couple of cool things real quick.
Okay.
Hang on. Am I still screen sharing? No.
I'm seeing you right now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
No, I
So let me go into here's a basic. So I was showing everybody this funnel that we just built that was this really cool assessment funnel.
Mhm.
And one of the things I have on here, I'll give you just a quick, when I set one of these up, I set up a dashboard. So there's a quiz, and this is how we're generating leads. And right now the quiz hasn't actually gone live to the public. We've tested it. So when we did the test, we were joking around. We're not joking around. We did the test on the 1 o'clock session or earlier, and we came out as cadet, right? Somebody else tested it and came out as a swabby. So you have the ability to take any data, any way, anything, and put it on the dashboard. But you also have the ability to create tasks based on actions and automation. So if somebody does this, give me a task to call them and follow up. You know, if they do this, I want to send them this email. If they do something else, if I have lunch with them, I want to just be able to hit, I just had lunch with them, and let it send an email, the follow-up sequence said, hey, loved having lunch with you, blah, 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 blah. So you set it up once, and then every time you need something, you just go beep, and it just happens, right? And then you can email obviously a large group of people, but let me just show you what the automation looks like. So I go here into my campaign builder, and in this account, these are all the different campaigns. So this one is the results delivery. So on this one, this is an appointment funnel. So this is a B2B funnel. This one. So let me zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole thing. And here you can see the different, these are all the different test scores. So whatever they score, they're coming in here. Let me hit edit mode so you can actually see. So if they score 0%, 10%, all these different things start these different campaigns. I'm not going to explain this row. And then it tags them. These people are cooks. These scores are swabbies. These scores are cadets. These scores are captains, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then each one of these sends an email. And those emails are custom to those things. So here it is, the email. And this one's set to wait a day. And then after that, it goes into a post email sequence. So this is an email delivering the result. Hey, you scored as a swabby. There's also some more sophisticated automation here that I won't get deep into, but I have engagement timers on here too. So every time they engage in something, it resets the engagement timer. So later on, I can say, who are all my people that engaged in the last 2 weeks? And I can look at all them. Who are all the people that haven't engaged in over 90 days? And I could send them a different email. Hey, you know, I've been reaching out to you. I've seen that you haven't really opened any of my emails. You know, you okay? You know, so like it gives you the ability to do different stuff. Plus, when you send bulk emails, like let's just say you have a database and you grow your database to 5,000 people. When you send to the most engaged first, you get higher open rates because they're the most engaged people open it, they interact. And what Google says is, oh, this isn't a promotion, let's put it in the inbox. Whereas if you send to the least engaged people and they don't engage with it, Google looks and goes, that's a promo, put it in the promo tab for all the rest of the people that get this. All right, and then let me show you this. This is the nurture sequence after the assessment. So after they come in as a lead and they've taken the assessment, this is basically sending them a 3 email sequence, 1, 2, and 3. And let me show you what the automation looks like inside. So when I go into here, see, this isn't done properly. This should actually have a delay timer of a day. So I go here and I want to delay 1 day. Whoops, 1 day, anytime. And then I can put a delay timer, and then I can copy this. I can duplicate this email, put it here, and just change the subject line. So they didn't open the first one, right? well, maybe if we change this, your journey to becoming a better leader, I could just go like this. And one of my go-to subject lines is merge contact field first name. I could just say first name, you know, with an exclamation point. So if you looked at it in your inbox, it'd say Uma, with an exclamation point. You'd be like, oh, who's this? And you click on it, right? It's one of my go-to subject lines is just a first name with an exclamation point. And then I hit this. So now what's going to happen, the way this is set up, it's going to wait 1 minute. It's going to send the first email between 9 and 5 p.m. Then it's going to wait a day and send the exact same email if they didn't open the first one. So the condition is if they open the email, I got to actually fix this because there's a new email in there. If they open any of these emails, boom, it pulls them out, resets the engagement timer, and then puts them into the second email in the sequence and the third email in the sequence. So all the emails can be automated. You can also automate text messages this way. You know, if they do a certain thing, you can text them and just say, hey, saw you hit this web page, or, you know, like you can put a pixel on a page. And if they hit the page, you can say, hey, just noticed you hit the page. You know, do you want to set up a time to talk, and give them a one sub link for a scheduling link, you know, something like that.
Cool.
And then the data can be that you can do anything with the data. There's no limit to what you can do, only limited by your own creation, your own creativity on what you can do with it. But you can go here, search contacts, and you know, here I'll show you in this. So this guy's got 2,700 contacts. You see some of them have first name, some just email address, some, you know, first name, email address, and then all the history gets in here. So on this guy, this is a B2B sale. So he's just talking to these people just like you do. So here's what we set up for him. It's pretty cool. Let me show you. Oh, that's wrong. I didn't want to do that. Dang it. I want to accidentally send the email. Cancel. Let me just hit close. Such a hassle. All right. Okay. So let me go back to search or new search. Just hit search and show a can't. So let's just say I'm talking to, let's just say this is Joe Schmo, right? Well, we set up an internal web form, an internal form for him, which strategy session questions. So on this form, while Mark is on the phone, he can record the answers to the questions that he asks. So these are questions he always asks when he gets on the phone with somebody. You know, how important is it to have engaged employees? You know, what is the current level of employee engagement? But this is where it gets really cool. What problems are the current levels of engagement? Clear vision. If you get into specific problems or specific desires, this gets saved in a field. And if you write it, and this is one of the really cool automation tricks. Let's just say your problem is, I fart a lot. Like we talk, we have a strategy session, and I say, Uma, what are your big problems? You say, you know, my biggest problem is I just fart a lot. You know, then I can put in here that you fart a lot. So I write it so it can be in a sentence. Whoops, I don't want to capitalize that. And then this becomes a merge field that I can insert into my follow-up. So the follow-up feels personal. Hey, it's Uma here. I was just checking up to see how you're doing on that problem of, you know, that you fart a lot. And it's merge field, big problem, or merge field, big desire. So you can use detailed information that you get when you talk to them, put it into a merge field and have it run through your email automation and actually show up. They'll never know it's automated if you do that kind of stuff.
Oh, wow.
You see what I'm saying? So as you build your deck of clients and you're asking them questions, you can just have like 1 or 2 questions that you ask them every single time, and you make notes on those 1 or 2, and then you come back and put them in here so that when they go through it, it works, you know?
Right.
And then the follow-up can be real simple too. Hey, just checking in and see how you're doing. You know, any news on the blank insert text, you know, insert field, variable, whatever. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of different stuff.
Sure. So obviously this email can go out from my company email address.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And then what happens there is there's some setup that has to be done,
Mhm.
but it's not too hard. And whoever your tech person is at your company can easily get it done.
Mm.
Hang on a second. CRM, marketing settings. Let's go here. So email authentication. All you got to do is add a domain. So like on this one, it's lead with, oh shit, it's not added. Holy crap. Oh, I'm glad you made me do that because it should be added. Add leadwithpurpose.com. Then all they have to do is create a a CNAME record in the DNS for this. And it doesn't affect their other deliverability or anything. And it authenticates your email from the system as if you're sending it out of your inbox, out of your outbox.
Mm. Okay.
Okay. Let's go there. Let me just go there. All right. And there's a lot more, but I mean, I literally could spend a week with you and show you all the different automations and all that stuff. So does it give you a little tidbit of what's possible though? Because that's what I
Sure,
really want to
absolutely.
see is, you know, everything you do it once.
Yeah.
And then you let the automation work for you as like a full-time employee that you don't have to pay for. That's really what it comes down to, you know?
Yeah.
And then you have stages. I didn't go through that, but it has stages of, you know, new lead, working, you know, proposal, one lost. So you can create those stages too and create automation around those stages.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. All right. Anything else or that you wanted to go over today?
No, that's good.
right.
Yeah. Yeah, helpful, very helpful. Thank you.
All right. We set a new record today. 3 hours and 58 minutes straight. I could fall over right now. But it was fun. I appreciate it. And thanks, Paul, for being here. Appreciate you being a part of the group. And Uma, do you know Paul from Inner Circle? Have you guys ever met?
No.
Once or twice, I think, Uma. Once or twice, I think.
Sure.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Nice to see you all again.
All right.
Okay.
And I've learned a lot. I've learned a lot with Baraket as well. With, you know, I've never seen the ads, you know, from Google and everything else, and then looking at your automation. Really learned a lot today. Thank you so much, to all of you.
Good. Yeah, that's awesome. That's what happens. You know, one person needs help on something, and other people are like, you know, they don't need help on that, but wow, I didn't know about that, and you pick something up. So, yeah, and we can get more into ads and stuff. I got to do a bunch of ad stuff tomorrow. Ugh, I don't want to. I've been avoiding it. All right, guys. I'm gonna call it a day. I'm out of gas. Thank you so much. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Lenny.
Right.
Have a
Bye,
great
guys.
weekend.
All right, you
Bye.
too.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
And Kim, I'm gonna put this up right away.